All right, we're live. Oh, we're still setting up cameras here. Let's see if we can switch it. Yeah, is it on? All right, there we go. Welcome, everybody. Got another camera we're going to be setting up in a second. Moving a little behind schedule here. It's my fault today. So please bear with us. Hope you all are having a fun Sunday and had a good work week and are getting ready for the work week coming up as well. It's a nice day here. The clouds are rolling in, so we are being mindful of that in terms of the rain. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can go quite a bit, but we're ready to move inside quickly if we need to. We got videos set up for hopefully, we don't have to do that, but for the intermission, if we have to go in that direction. And we got a little bit of an agenda today, which I am excited to share with you all. And we'll do that. We might have to do a switch in a second. I'm just realizing like I plugged the cord in the wrong one, but we'll figure that out. Let me know where everybody's chiming in from. I always like to know which corners of the world people are coming in from. I hope you can hear me okay. From what I hear with the headphones here, it sounds good. As usual, there is a lot of noise and music around us here at Travelers and then also next door. So if you have a hard time hearing, let me know and we will make adjustments. Good morning, good afternoon to you all. And welcome to another Sunday live stream here on the 7 Mile of White Sand, Negril, Jamaica. Yes, bonjour, May. Good to see you. I know you are chiming in from Montreal. Let's see. Let's go through some comments, but Sandra chiming in from Sacramento, California. Good to see you, Sandra. Thanks for joining today. Byron, how are you? Good to see you. Raining in Baltimore. Oh, sorry to hear that. Well, we need the rain sometimes, don't we? Good to see you. Thank you for chiming in. Got a few articles together to go through today. I have a couple of videos to share, which I'm super excited. We shot some content yesterday and decided to put a video together for breaks, commercials, whatever you want to call it. That I'm realizing how valuable that is, especially when we're going for extended periods of time. So we got those lined up. They were pretty fun putting together, documenting, recording them, and then also editing them last night and this morning. So looking forward to getting your feedback on it. Hope you guys enjoy it. It was fun for me putting together. So that we'll probably do that in maybe about an hour or so from now. Or if the rain comes sooner, we'll throw the video on just to give us an opportunity to reset inside of the dining room behind me. But hopefully, all good. We can chill here, no problems, and we're just gonna keep rocking and rolling. Deeper consciousness. I am doing well. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for being here this morning and this afternoon, wherever you're chiming in from. How are you doing? Hi, Ingrid. Happy Sunday to you. Ingrid's chiming in from Orlando, of course. Chelsea, good afternoon to you as well. Asfanti, Ash, thank you. I know you are the newest channel member, so thank you for being a member to the channel. Really appreciate it and welcome. Good to see you on here. Good afternoon. Good morning. Hi, Joe, chiming in from NYC in the virtual building. What's the virtual building? And where is that? I'm not too up on my New York City geography and what's happening and what's new. Oh, good to hear you're doing well, Deeper Consciousness. Good to hear. So, don't want to hold up the agenda at all. Let's hop into some articles that we put together. And now, of course, that I know how to do screen shares, we can do that. So, where should we start? All right, let's start with education. So I know that's been a topic that we've been talking about a lot for quite some time. Probably the majority of the existence of this channel, or at least these podcasts that we've been doing and these live streams, there's been a lot of interest about the education system here in Jamaica, and kind of getting an understanding of that. And like we always talk about different ideas that we have of improving the education system here and focus on teachers and things of that nature. Anyway, we have an article here, and I'll throw it in the comments, of course, and it's talking about the strategies of improving the education system here in Jamaica. So let's throw the... Okay, sorry, I missed the joke, Joe. I'm a little slow. Okay, I'm in the virtual building. I got it. Thanks for clearing that up. Hi, Diane, chiming in from Atlanta. All right, cool. So that's the article that we're going to go through in a few minutes, or right now, I should say. And let's see if the second camera's working. Cool. Oop, didn't mean to do that. All right, there we go. We got a nice little beach view for everyone. Got me up there in your left corner, and we can hop into the article, and you can read along if you'd like. I put it there in the comment section, and we can go ahead and get started. So this was put up by the Jamaican Observer yesterday, and it was written by a lot of these I can't find the author. Anyway, you'll see it in the comments. So name of the article is Internal Transformation. PM outlines strategies to improve Jamaica's education system. Kingston, Jamaica. The Ministry of Education and Youth is in the process of establishing the requisite internal units to execute recommendations outlined in the Reform of Education in Jamaica 2021 report. Hold on, I just forgot. I gotta send this out really quick. Apologies. I should have done this before, but want to make sure that people who wanted to come on know that we are live. So just give me about 10 seconds here, and I will just share the link, and we should be good to go. All right, sorry about that. As we continue, Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the announcement during a face-to-face town hall meeting at Jamaica College in St. Andrew on Friday. He also revealed that the process of recruiting Chief Transformation Officer has commenced. The Prime Minister noted that this will be a significant milestone in the journey of transformation. In addition, the Education Transformation Oversight Committee, being led by Dr. Adrian Stokes, has already been established. Holness, who underscored the importance of implementing the recommendations, said the government remains resolute in its mission of transforming education in Jamaica. He maintained that the undertaking will revolutionize the sector and encourage the ministry stakeholders to embrace the transformation process. The Prime Minister indicated that the ministry's existing framework must be altered to effectively facilitate the reformation process. The transformation must be internal. The ministry itself must embrace the transformation. The ministry itself must see the benefit of the transformation, and the people in the transformation. Excuse me, got distracted. The people in the ministry must lead the transformation, he emphasized. Additionally, Holness declared that we are on our way with the new transformation report, urging the nation to understand that the government is serious about it, and we are going to move with great instrumentality to have our education system transformed. Developed by the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission, JETC, the report is a blueprint of establishing a comprehensive strategy to improve student performance and educational productivity across the sector. Very cool. I think that's some good news. You know, like I said, we've been talking about this for a while, and I think many of us are frustrated at the education system in general, and also the results that are coming of it. And it's, I had a feeling that this was a priority, but this is kind of the first time that I'm hearing about it. Not to say that it wasn't publicized before, but this is the first time I'm really seeing that it's really being pushed out there, especially with everything going on with the mass exodus of teachers. So it's good to see that this is a priority, and this is something that is being pushed by the tip of the spear, so to speak, with Prime Minister Andrew Holness. And I definitely support this. And I think we talk about a lot of the issues and challenges that Jamaica has and is currently facing. And to me, the long term solution with this is education, and that's to me what we need to focus on. Is and it's long term, because when I think of educate, I'm obviously thinking of all different ages, but then also to see the results of the investment of a nation in education is going to take 20 years, and that's the sort of thinking and foresight that we need in leadership. And this is my opinion, and this is the sort of approach that we need to have when it comes to, as the article says, revolutionizing the education system here. I don't know the details of it. Like, honestly, this is the extent of the plan that I know. But the fact that, again, that it is being spoken about and that it is being made a priority, that to me is the most important part. And I would love to find out more information about it and to see what exactly they're going to be doing to reform and change the education system and essentially change the country, because that's, again, what I firmly believe is the only way forward and way out, again, of heading off many of the challenges that we face on a day-to-day basis here in Jamaica. Let's hop over to the comments real quick. Joseph, how do you become a channel member? You can you can sign up through my channel. I don't know exactly where it is, but when you go on my channel, like, I can't see it because, let me see if I can, but it's my YouTube channel, but let me see if I can. No, I doubt it. I doubt I'm going to be able to see it, but there should be a button when you visit my channel page that you can sign up and become a channel member. Almost certain. I can't see it because I'm signing on all my browsers. Sorry if anybody can help me with that, I'd appreciate that. But I would say do that, Joe. But thank you for your interest. I appreciate that. Brian Cleanwater says, hi, Throp, Brian and Shari from New Jersey, USA. Welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Happy Sunday to you as well. Andrew, what's going on, man? Good to see you on here as usual. Shayna, love coaching. Oh, and then Shayna hooked it up. Thank you so much, Shayna. At Joe, she says, go to the description section and see how to become a member. Thank you so much, Shayna. Always looking out. I appreciate you so much. Lupus Wolf, hello. Thanks for joining. Treasure Best chiming in from the UK. Awesome. Nice to see you. Okay, Joe found it. Awesome. Thank you for that, Shayna. Really appreciate that. All right, cool. All right, let's move on to the next article, unless we have any comments on education. And if you want to go back to education, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to do that. And so the next article has to do with the relationship with Jamaica and Japan. And everybody may or may not know, but I have a special place in Japan in my heart, as I was represented Jamaica twice in two separate marathons in Japan, in Tottori, Japan. This was 2018 and 2019. And my father went with me on both of those trips in Japan when I got the opportunity to represent Jamaica in 2018. I did it through the Reggae Marathon. So the Reggae Marathon has a partnership, brother-sister relationship partnership with the prefecture of Tottori in Japan, which is the most underpopulated prefecture in all of Japan. And every year they send their fastest runner to our marathon, which is the first weekend or first Sunday in December. And we send our fastest marathoner from Westmoreland to their marathon, which is the Tottori Marathon, which is in usually the beginning of March. And I was fortunate enough to go and represent Jamaica those 2 years, 2018 and 2019. And my dad, who came on both those trips with me, we used it as an opportunity to establish relationships with their Ministry of Education and principals and teachers to set us up for bringing our students through our nonprofit organization, the Negro Education Environment Trust. And we wanted to bring our students to their country, to their schools, to their prefecture, to Tory, because I believe it was 2016 they brought their students to our NEET classes, our Negro Education Environment classes, where every Saturday, so starting this month, at the end of this month, we do what we call a tablet program. So we have both students and parents come into our Saturday program. It's about 4 or 5 hours in the morning into the afternoon, and they learn about different life skills for the most part, both the student and the parents actually have separate classes from the students. And our approach to this and our thinking is that it's great that we have the students come in for a few hours on a Saturday or whatever a particular day, but the important part is the reinforcement. And what we found is that the reinforcement happens by both the parents in terms of what we teach, and then also the student, because the student is there and the students also hold the parents accountable, which was funny to us and not something that we necessarily anticipated. And so with that, we do these classes, and there was a bunch of students, Japanese students, they came in and participated in one of our classes in 2016, and it was always something that my father wanted to do, was reciprocate the gesture and also give the exposure to students, many students that we have in our program, that to go abroad and to be a part and see a different culture. And so again, that's kind of what, it's crazy to think that my marathon journey, my running journey had turned into this opportunity. And so when we went there in 2018, again, we established these many different relationships with many Ministry of Education personnel over there, and then came back in 2019 in the March, and I ran the marathon again. Both times were like my birthday, which was pretty cool, spending my birthday in Japan. And the trip in 2019 in March, we set everything up to bring our students, Jamaican students, to Japan in August of 2019. And so a lot of, like, after I ran the marathon, we spent a few more days in Totori, and I remember me and my dad would just go on like meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, just trying to establish these relationships so we could really bring our students in August. And it was a lot of work, and it was also it was pretty cool for me to be in like these meetings and having these things happen, and like having my dad like have the foresight of just just starting something out of nothing. This an idea, like, we want to bring our students here to Japan. How can we do it? Who do we need to talk to? How do we establish these relationships? And so we're able to do this, and we were able to pull it off. We did 13 students from Jamaica, going to Japan. Most of the students had never been on a plane, and it was like an amazing experience for them. None of them, I remember, just a little funny anecdote. I remember we were on a train we were in Tokyo, and we go into Shibuya Square, if you know where that is. Like, if you know, like, it's pretty famous, like this like big crosswalk, and there's like hundreds of people crossing at the same time. So we're taking a train there, and the nobody had been on a train before, and obviously I'm from New York, so I already know, like, you got to watch your balance, hold on to something. And like everybody, all the students pretty much fell down, and I was like, got mad. I was like, what are you guys doing? And they were like, oh, we'd never been on a train, we didn't know what to expect. I'm like, yo, I was like, that was so funny and like very cute at the same time, because who would have known? Like, it's just kind of instinctual, as somebody who travels and somebody who lives in New York and lives in a metropolis or grew up in a metropolis, that it's just normal. Like, you hold on before the train starts moving. So they had a great experience in doing that. And they also did a I forget what it was called, but they spent a night with a Japanese family as well. And that was that was probably the top thing that they did, the most of their students said. And it was great exposure. And to me, these are the things, this is also part of education. And my dad always says, like, the best education that you can get is traveling. And I truly believe that. I love traveling, and I can't wait to start doing it again. Hopefully sometime next year I can really get on the move. So anyway, that's kind of the background on on my affiliation with Japan. So I thought it was kind of cool that there's an article that came out today talking about the relationship that Jamaica has with Japan, and I'll hop right into that. And so it says Jamaica Japan celebrate friendship linkages. Embassy in Tokyo marks country's 60th independence anniversary, and this is in the Jamaican Gleaner, and this came out yesterday. And it says Tokyo, Japan. The Embassy of Jamaica hosted a reception at the Okura Hotel, Tokyo, on Friday, September 2nd, to culminate its celebrations of Jamaica's 60th anniversary of independence. Shorna K. Richards, ambassador of Jamaica to Japan, delivered opening remarks at the start of the event to some 150 guests, comprising of Jamaicans in the diaspora, Japanese parliamentarians, government officials, and business executives, members of the diplomatic corps in Tokyo, as well as other well-wishers and friends of Jamaica and Japan. 60 years ago, Jamaica attained one of the most singular achievements that any country can boast, its independence. This evening, I therefore stand proudly to warmly welcome you to this celebration of our Diamond Jubilee anniversary, said Jamaica's top diplomat to Japan during her address. The program included remarks from special guest Takai Shunsuke, newly appointed Japanese State Minister for Foreign Affairs, who delivered remarks on behalf of the government of Japan. In his speech, the minister highlighted the importance of solidarity among countries that share universal values such as democracy, basic human rights, and the rule of law. The minister's address was followed by two toasts. The first came from Dr. Ngochu Kuniko, Japanese parliamentarian and Secretary General of the Japan CARICOM Parliamentary Friendship. In congratulating Jamaica on its milestone anniversary, she also recognized Jamaica's contribution to multilateral diplomacy. The final toast was given by Hirai Shinji, a longstanding friend of Jamaica and governor of Tottori Prefecture, which enjoys a vibrant sister city relationship with the parish of Westmoreland. The governor emphasized the friendly relations that have led to people-to-people linkages and reaffirmed his commitment to expanding these linkages. Social media influencer and recording artiste Lidge Defari Smith and author Sandy Herron served as masters of ceremony. Former UWI singer Jana Williams Graham and songstress Monique Dehaney thrilled the audience with performances of Jamaican folk and reggae songs. Jamaica's longstanding business partnership with Japan were the main sponsors of the event, including Auto Terminal Japan Limited, Marubeni Corporation, the Association of Japanese Importers of Jamaica Coffee, Sea Island Club Co. Limited, and the General Incorporated Association of West Indian Sea and Land Cotton. Japan was among the first set of countries to recognize Jamaica's independence on August 6, 1962. In Japan, state receptions celebrating Jamaica's independence are customarily held before or after August 6th in observance of the annual August 6th Peace Memorial Ceremony of Hiroshima City. The memorial commemorates the anniversary of the atomic bombing of the city in 1945. All right, and that is the Japan article. Let me know if you guys got any questions on anything. Let's hop over to the comments. Hello, Rose. Synthwave, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Rose saying hi to you. Yeah, Japan and Jamaica. Good relationships, good vibes. Ingrid says the program sounds awesome, Tom. Yeah, thank you. It is really awesome. Globally, Wendy says, did Reggae Marathon 2019 was my 5th international half marathon. Reggae Marathon was fun as half marathon and 10K for my team this year. Looking forward to seeing old friends from Reggae Runners. Yes, Reggae Runners will be there. I'm running that race again too. I don't forget what day it is. First Sunday in December, but I'll be there. Metho Nelson, good to see you. Thanks for chiming in. Hello. Hope you're well, man. Cat B checking in, saying hello to everyone. Thanks as always, Throp, for sharing. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Joe says, nice to know the Jamaican-Japanese relationship goes deeper than just dancehall music. Yes. It's a really awesome event. The marathon that they have there. Like I feel so honored to just have been to do it and to go over there and represent Jamaica. All right, let's get into the next article. And Wendy hooking me up with some information. Reggae Marathon is December 4th. So if any of you are interested in running a 10K half marathon or marathon, December 4th, it's not too late. You got loads of time to train, loads and loads of time. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it moving here. And next article. All right, we're gonna move into tourism. And so I didn't know this was a situation. I just found out as I was preparing for our live stream here today. And apparently, American Airlines has postponed flight plans to St. Mary. And we talked about this. We talked about this a few weeks ago when it was announced, or maybe months. I'm not sure, but I remember we did talk about it on the live stream here. And now apparently it has been postponed. So let's find out together. I didn't read the article, so we're both gonna are all gonna hear about this now. So it reads, why American Airlines postponed flights plans to St. Mary Airport, and this is from Loop News, and it was written by, I don't know. I feel like they should make it more clear who the authors of these articles are. Just my opinion. Anyway, let's hop into it. Earlier this year, the Jamaican government announced that American Airlines would begin scheduled international flights from Miami, Florida to Ian Fleming International Airport in Boscobel, St. Mary in November 2022. However, the launch of this service has been postponed to a later date, possibly after April 2023. In a statement released on Friday, Minister of Transportation and Mining Audley Shaw said since the announcement of the international flights, American Airlines has been working with Airports Authority of Jamaica and the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority towards ensuring that all the necessary regulatory and supporting structures and arrangements are in place to facilitate the flight. However, despite continued work to make this a reality, an agreement was reached to postpone the launch of the service to a later date than originally announced, source said. He said He said the decision was taken by American Airlines in consultation with the Jamaican authorities to allow for additional air navigation services requested by American Airlines to be provided at Ian Fleming International Airport. Some specific requirements regarding flight navigational aids, which currently exceeds what now exists at the IFIA, were outlined by American Airlines. This is to ensure consistency of service during periods of unstable weather conditions after commencement of operation, the minister said. He added that notwithstanding all the stakeholders' best efforts, the implementation of the additional measure to meet American Airlines requirement will take another 6 to 7 months. This is critical to ensuring a safe, reliable, consistent, and seamless service, Shaw said. The Ministry of Transport and Mining, through the JCAA and AAJ, is committed to having the outstanding measures addressed within the timeline while keeping the relevant parties abreast of the progress to ensure the planning and implementation can be synchronized, he added. We acknowledge the importance of the new operations and the impact it will have on the tourism sector, especially in the northern region of the island. The collective decision of American Airlines, the AAJ, and JCAA to ensure that we maintain proper international standards for the safety of crew and passengers, Shaw said. He also said there would be an ongoing collaboration coordination with the tourism counterpart to ensure that all stakeholders are on board. It is expected that the additional requirements will be placed in place by April 2023. American Airlines has promised to announce a new commencement date, Shaw said. Okay. I mean, that's it. I mean, it happens. It happens. I mean, the fact that they're doing this essentially for safety reasons and inclement weather, to me, is like, take your time. You got all the time in the world that you need to make sure and ensure that everything is in place and all the requirements by American Airlines is met at the Ian Fleming International Airport, because we don't want any accidents. We don't want any mistakes. So I have no issue with that whatsoever. These things happen. I'm glad they made the decision to put safety and efficiency first instead of trying to push this thing through. And hey, we miss out for the winter season. I'm sorry, that sucks, but at least it'll get done in the proper way. So I'm glad they were able to work this out and figure out those timelines. But at least we know that they're working on this and they're actively working on this, and that this is a priority for the Ministry of Tourism and just Jamaica in general. Let's see what's going on in the comments here. Katie Vibe says, checking in from Miami. Negril is my place to be. Awesome, KD. Good to see you. Thanks for chiming in from Miami. Max and Relaxin. Hello, Throp. Thank you for your channel and info. How do I join the email list? Oh, just shoot me. And I know there were some people who missed the email that I sent out on, I think it was Thursday or Friday. I apologize. It's Thursday day. Sorry. So if you did miss the email, I apologize. Just shoot me an email directly. We're still working out the kinks with the automation of getting like emails dumped into our listserv, so to speak. So apologies for that. So if you email me directly, I will get you on that email list and just say add me to the email list, and I'll make sure I do it personally. Apologies. Veronica Tate, good afternoon, Throp, and everyone. Good afternoon to you too. B. Isaiah, peace, brother Throp. Glad I got another live. Good to see you again. Nice to have you on here. Glad you were able to make it as well. Hello, Kay. I'm sorry, did they delay? It would work out again. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I say. Have them do the delay, no problem. We've been okay without that leg. It's a new venture. There's going to be hiccups, and unfortunately, this was one of them. And it's put off for half a year or so. We'll be fine. Like you said, Kay, eventually we'll get it. Totally agree with you. Veronica takes loving that new welcome sign to Negril. Okay, we got a nice video for you on that, so just stick around. I'm going to use it as one of the breaks, so that's going to be in another half hour, 40 minutes, depending on where we take things here. But yeah, love the sign. Super proud of it. We're going to talk about it in a few minutes, actually. Okay, says progress takes time and proper planning and execution. Agreed. We got to be patient here. Joe, I'm looking forward to that flight because I go to San Ann often, but I will wait until all the safety regulations are fixed. I agree. I know a lot of people are looking forward to it, and I think a lot of people are going to appreciate it as well. And I think it's going to be awesome for Jamaica. I think it's going to be awesome for business because I've been recently looking for a trip coming up. I've been looking at flights from Kingston. I'm like, there are crazy amount of flights from Kingston to Miami and vice versa. They even have like a 3 a.m. flight. I'm like, man, this is incredible. And then some flights get in from Miami at like 1 in the morning or something like that. And then I just think as like these are business flights because people can leave early in the morning, have their meetings in Miami, and then fly back in the evening. And it's pretty. I forget how much they cost, but it was relatively affordable. If you're doing business, or you do like 5 days in Jamaica, weekends in Miami, if you're like a consultant or something like that. I thought that was pretty awesome. So that's kind of really, really, really good. I don't know if Montego Bay has that, but not that I know of. I mean, Montego Bay is mostly for tourism, but I thought I found that surprising. And probably people already know this. I'm sure a lot of business people out there doing business, but just something to think about for those of you who are trying to figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it. You have that option if you kind of want to live in both places in America and in Jamaica, but obviously you probably have to live in the Kingston area, not here in the country, because that's a 4-hour drive. All right, let's keep going. Corey Campbell says, good day from Corey in California. Thanks for joining, Corey. Appreciate it. Hello, Vanessa. Thanks for hopping on. Good to see you. All right, let's keep rolling here. I can see we got these things blown out a little bit. All right, we're gonna try and fix that. Might need a filter on there, but we'll see. All right, let's go on to the next article and sticking in tourism. All right, so this article is major development plans for Negril, and believe the minister Bartlett spoke to this at the opening of the or unveiling of the Negril new Negril sign. So I just threw the article in the comments there, and I will read through it as usual. Just get a sip of Gatorade first. All right, this was released early this morning, and there's a picture there with everybody. We'll get to that in a second. I'm just going to go through the article. And it reads, major plans, including an additional 5,000 hotel rooms, are on the drawing board of the development of Negril over the next 5 years. Concurrently, Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett has hinted at Negril being given a status that will remove it from the dual management it now has between Hanover and Westmoreland. Something that we have spoken about in extensively on this channel and on these lives. We can hop into that, but I will read that again. The last sentence. Concurrently, Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett has hinted at Negril being given a status that will remove it from the dual management it now has between Hanover and Westmoreland. Continuing on, top level discussions have started between multiple government ministries and stakeholders in Negril on aspects of the development to be rolled out over time. In the meantime, with tourism being a critical component, Bartlett on Friday spoke of some things to come as he had gave the keynote address at the unveiling of a picturesque multicolored Negril welcome sign at the eastern end of the resort town dubbed the capital of casual. The $12 million sign features a lay by and walk by retaining wall landscaping and the fabrication of letters in red, green, and gold, reflecting the vibe of Negril. It comes with a solar lighting, which helps the visibility of the at nights and sustainability. Tourism Product Development Company TPDCO Executive Director Wade Mars termed it the Jam iconic photo experience. And like him, Bartlett anticipates that in addition to adding to the aesthetic of the resort, the sign will act as a catalyst to attract greater foot traffic to the area. The tourism executive said research has shown that accessible photo experience with destinations provide visitors with an additional incentive to travel longer and further to capture the scenic shots as part of their vacation experience. I guess we can all thank Instagram for that one. That was my anecdote. It is therefore intended that the existence of these sites will also provide the home destination with user-generated content for marketing, which has a multiplier effect in attracting audience. TPDCO, for which the mandate is transforming and enhancing the tourism product, has mapped out a program to boost tourism within rural communities and add aesthetic appeal to resort areas using Jam iconic photo experiences to highlight protected areas such as natural skylines, national parks, and gardens such as the Cockpit Country and the Blue Mountains. Destinations areas like Negril, panoramic views of Jamaica's historic plans, as well as waterways and towns. The plans being pursued for Negril's growth have been welcomed by President of the Negril Chamber of Commerce, Richard Wallace, Member of Parliament for Hanover Western, Tamika Davis, Mayor of Lucy, Councilor Sheridan Samuels, Deputy Mayor of Savlamar, Councilor Danry Delancey, and Secretary Manager of the Negril Green Island Area Land Authority, Althea Mackenzie Stewart. Negril has long enjoyed a special place in the hearts of visitors, and with Jamaica making rapid strides in its recovery from the fallout triggered by the novel coronavirus pandemic, Bartlett said the resort has been making a spectacular contribution. And listen to this, pulling in about 1/3 of the more than $3 billion earned in the industry so far this year. Negril has, again, repeat, Negril has pulled in about 1/3 of the $3 billion earned by the industry so far this year. Little Negril. He further shared that Jamaica had its strongest and best summer tourism season with one just ended. Bartlett said there is to be a holistic development of Negril, but stressed the need for the resort to be rid of crime and other social issues that have been rearing their ugly heads in recent times. On the cards for further development are close to 5,000 new rooms, to include a 1,000 room hotel at Rhodes Hall, a new property at Ocean Point, and an expansion of Princess Palladium Sandals and beaches properties. With a commitment to the development of the public spaces of Negril, Bartlett said, as a start, the existing beach park is to be transformed, patterning Harmony Beach Park in Montego Bay, but not quite as elaborate. He said that the proposed plan has the support of the Prime Minister Andrew Holness, and that is part of a bigger push to create appealing public parks in resort areas for the benefit of Jamaicans while inviting visitors to enjoy them as well. He said the greatest threat to continued growth and development of tourism and Negril as a community is public order. That is why we established a destination insurance policy strategy, and we are trying to build with you destination management so that we can bring all the partners together, Bartlett said. The minister said restoring order should not be seen as fighting against the poor, as they can become wealthy if they do things properly and in an orderly way. We are not in the business of celebrating poverty and causing you to remain poor. This is not my business. My business is to transform you from poverty into prosperity, said Bartlett. To accomplish this, he said, investment will be made in training that will build the capacity to think and reason. That is pretty exciting stuff. I got a lot to say there on so many fronts, but let's hop over to the comments first, and then I can get into it. All right, Ebony X, thanks for joining. Good to see you. Oh, there's a family watch party in BK. Big up the family in BK. Thank you all for watching. The Isaiah says the sign is beautiful. Yes, it is. Richard Lee says, hi, Throp. What's good? Chilling. Good to see you, man. Nayar says, we need to focus on it on our infrastructure. The roads through Hanover into Negril are in despair and should have been prioritized over the sign. We will get into that in a second, Naya. Chisha Petit says, hello, the sign is lovely. It was interesting to see the varying responses from locals, though, especially regarding the cost. Howdy do and happy Sunday, Throp and Throppers. Is that what they're called? Throppers? I like that. Throppers. King Naldo, always coming in with the lines, always coming in with the bars. Good to see you, man. All right, cool. So Tisha, talked about the and then also Naya kind of mentioned this as well in terms of where the money could have gone. And so I don't remember how much the sign cost, but I remember people being very upset about how much the Montego Bay sign. I forget the cost of it, but it was expensive. $12 million is a lot of money. I agree, but these and like yes, we could of course reallocated that to roads and things like that, but the road needs a lot more money, and so for the positive side of the sign, I think the sign is a great thing and it's a great idea. It's first world. It is going to bring out it's gonna like we can't quantify the amount of money that sign is going to bring in, and it's going to pay for itself hands down. I was there shooting content, trying to get, and you'll see we got a video, we got some drone footage, we got some pictures. I was there, and we were there for and it was raining too, mind you. It was raining, and it was probably in the late afternoon, and we were there for probably an hour and a half, close to 2 hours, because we had to keep waiting for people to leave because there was just car after car after car after car stopping, taking pictures, stopping and taking pictures. And so that just kind of shows you the level of popularity that sign has already. And it was revealed yesterday, it was Saturday, it was revealed on Friday, I believe it was. And so I already see what's going to happen. And I saw, you could tell like people didn't realize that the sign was there. So they stopped and they pulled over and they took a picture. They were like reversing in the middle of the road. Safety is another thing that I would say that they need to take into consideration. Maybe putting some, just from what I saw and observed yesterday and the amount of cars stopping. And if you know Salt Creek Bridge, like I ride my bike there many times, there's this like a straightaway coming over from the north, and then another straightaway once you get over the bridge. So like cars are flying, and then you'll see in the drone footage. I'll try and like give you a heads. I can't. You probably won't actually hear me, but you'll see in the drone footage like it's a straight shot, and the cars are just flying. So like I'm just thinking like, man, you just get one idiot that could be like a very dangerous situation, because there was a crowd of people there and it was raining. What about on a day like this when it's absolutely beautiful? I can only imagine how many people that is gonna go there and take pictures. So it's already popularized, and as the article was stating, that you don't know the rippling effects that it's going to have on social media. You get like one influencer that has a few million followers taking a picture there, forget about it. Everybody who follows that influencer is going to want to take that picture there and be like, hey, Kim Kardashian took a picture and she stood right here. I want to go there and do the same thing. And I think it's way better positioned than the Montego Bay sign. I don't even know how they do that. That thing is so like, I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying I think our sign here in the grill is way, 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 way better positioned. It's easy for you to pull over. And as this article said, that there's a walk by, so you can park a little further up and then walk by, take your picture. And I already see it. It's going to be worth its weight in gold. There's no doubt in my mind. That is money very, very well spent, in my opinion. And we need more of that. I think there should be, we need aspects and elements of that. And maybe this is for like, we're thinking like that as travelers, but on the beach, I'd say, you want these places that that you create these iconic locations and iconic signs and iconic places that people can take pictures and want to take pictures. And that Negril Shine accomplishes that hands down. So kudos to everybody that was involved in that. And again, I think it's gonna pay itself off very, very quickly. Outside of that, in terms of like the roads and also to your point, Tisha, in terms of like how the locals felt about it. I don't know. I mean, that was one of the first things, and like why they put $12 million sign. We already know what that's going to stir some things up and get like, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they put it in schools? I get that. I understand that. With the roads, like to me, there needs to be, and I don't know why they do this, but there's like a need for like the roads needs to be redone. Like my personal opinion, I'm not a civil engineer. I'm not a city planner. I don't know how these things work, but my common sense, layman thinking is that the entire strip, like at least in the grill, like the whole thing needs to be redone. Like it's that bad. Like, and I don't understand I guess I understand the strategy of patching, because if it's really bad, patch it, of course. And also patching shows that, hey, at least they're doing something, at least they're trying. But if it's to the extent that it is now, like where it really needs, the whole thing needs to be redone. Like, okay, how do we do this? How do we put it together? And I don't know if like that is the priority. I don't know if like that's the number one thing that we need to kind of pool and save our money towards and just allocate these millions of dollars to the road. I don't know. Again, I'm not a civil engineer. I'm not a city planner, but to me, that is the way forward. And I think that's like the best thing to do. And speaking about the road from Hanover, that is absolutely, I totally agree on that. I speak about the road, and then also to your point, Naya, I would also say about we talked about this before as well, the bypass road. So going through Hopewell, going through Lucy, like these are crazy bottleneck areas. And there is, like, I know Lucy, I should say, I think it was number one on the list the last time I checked for bypass roads in Jamaica, because it is terrible. And that could literally, if you're going to the airport, it can add 45 minutes to an hour to your drive. I've heard people say it added 3 hours, that they would just kind of sit in there, especially when it rains, forget about it. So these are the things that I'm thinking when we're thinking about efficiency and fluidity of traffic to and from Negril, from the airport to Negril, et cetera, et cetera. These are my thinking. These are my thoughts when it comes to allocation of resources. But there's always going to be that, there's always going to be that people are going to question it. But to me, this is money well spent. Honestly, I think it's gonna do well, and it remains to be seen. But like from what I saw yesterday on a rainy Saturday, to see that many cars pull over and that many people, and again, we just had to wait till everybody left, and then we just had to hurry, get our drone shots, and then after we got that, more people showed up, and then we had to run and hurry and get the camera shots, and you'll see that in a few minutes as well. So sorry to go on and on about that, but let's hop into the comments here. Mel Murray says, "Good news for Nick Grill, bringing in 1/3 of total. Total is great. Yep, agree. Oh yes, please. Thank you, Sandra, for the reminder. Please hit the thumbs up, like button. Really helps out with the algorithm, and also other people can see it, because I think a lot of people will be interested in some of the information that we're speaking about today. So please hit that thumbs up button. Thank you, Sandra. Jermaine Jackson says, hello, everyone. Thanks for taking the time out, Throp. Absolutely, Andrew. The sign will pay for itself and then some, Throp. Who will not want to stop and take a picture of the sign is money. It absolutely is. You know, think about the Las Vegas sign. And that is a very bad position sign. It's like the Las Vegas sign is not on the Las Vegas Strip. Like, you have to, if you don't have a car, you have to take a taxi there. You have to take a picture. You have to, if you have a, yeah, and it's crowded and people still go there because it's this iconic sign. And that is what that sign is going to do for us. It's our Las Vegas sign. It's our Negril sign. And again, it's in like a really excellent location, especially when you compare it to like the Montego Bay sign. Sorry if there's any Montegonians out there. I'm not hating. I'm just saying, like, I like the position of our sign a lot better. Marisi, Throppers assembled in BK. Awesome. I like to hear that. I like the sign of the Throppers. I like that. Synthwave said the sign of the grill brings out the Instagram and YouTube content creators putting a grill in the spotlight. Absolutely. It's going to do that. 100%. There's going to be influencers that are going to go there and they're going to flash their cameras. They're going to make vlogs about it. And I'm telling you, we're going to see the next few months, you're going to see a lot of thumbnails with that in the grill sign. Guarantee it. Jermaine Jackson says, what's hard for the local to understand how much more business the sign will bring into the local area? It's because it's the immediate, you know, it's the, what is this money doing for me now? That's the thing I think a lot of the mindset a lot of people have with it. And I get it, you know, I understand it. Like when they see the roads, they see this, you know, and you know, during election time, you see a lot of road construction happening going on. It's like it's the immediacy and the immediate gratification of seeing money being spent, right? With the sign, you see the money being spent, but like, what's the benefit? You know, with the road, you see the benefit immediately. You get smoothness, you get no more rocks and rubble, blah blah blah. So that's my thinking, at least. Gobi Wendy says Idris Alba needs to do the selfie. There you go. We got Idris Alba or somebody like that. We're gonna do good. Hold on 1 second. I got that. Yeah. So I got to get the charger for my laptop that's not charging. Actually, I think I can do it, but I would have to cut us off for a second. Anyway, let's not stop this discussion. Nayar says, interesting points on the merits of the sign. I must admit, it is attractive. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I do worry about so the letters itself are are metallic. I just know people are gonna. I just don't know how strong it is. I know people are going to sit on those letters. Like some, I just hope they're strong enough. I also hope there's a maintenance program, because like a lot of these things, there's like no sort of maintenance thought of, like 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, because we want to keep that thing pretty. And that's just one thing I hope that's in place. Tisha Petite says, yeah, I've seen many photos with of the sign already. I definitely continue tuning into your channel. Gives a different perspective about Jamaica, what we can do for Jamaica. Awesome. Thank you, Tisha. I appreciate that. Kay says you're putting a lot in a sign. It's more superficial than anything. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. There's no doubt that thing is superficial. But we also got to realize and accept the reality that we live in today, that this superficiality equals dollars. And the fact that it's important for an influencer, it's important that for like a regular person to see an influencer at that sign and decide to go to Negril or go to Jamaica instead of going to Puerto Rico because their favorite influencer took a picture at that sign. And like, again, we can criticize it as much as we want and be like superficiality is bad, but it also equals dollars. And we also got to understand the mindset of the modern consumer and the mindset of the Instagram nation or world that we currently live in. So I don't agree with you. I don't disagree with you there on the superficiality of it, Kay, at all. But it just is what it is. So I'm just checking out those clouds. Not looking good. Jermaine Jackson says, I remember traveling 3 hours just to take a pic with a sign in South Africa, spent the day in the local area, which resulted in me support a few local businesses. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Some of these things, and everybody has their different reasons for doing it. Some people will climb the top of the Blue Mountain and spend a day camping out in mud and mosquitoes and coldness and heat just to get that picture at top of Blue Mountain. And some people will book their entire vacation just to get that picture in front of the Negril sign. And it's for different reasons. A lot of people aren't going to hike into the top of the Blue Mountains. They have no interest in that. So a lot of people will have no interest in taking a picture in front of the sign that a famous person took a picture in front of. But they'll come and they'll take a picture in front of this lovely beach, right? So it's like everybody has their own reasons for doing different things and going after their individual goals. Nai says, I may never see the sign as bad as the roads to Negril are extremely deterrent for me. I mean, fair enough. I don't think they're that bad, to be honest. I mean, we got to think that like thousands of people, well, yeah, tens and hundreds of thousands of people drive that road to get to Negril. I don't think it's like, if you want to talk about deterrent, like let's talk about like Port Antonio. I mean, that road is ridiculous, terrible, like horrendous, but people still go because to me, it's worth it, and that's my favorite part of the island. And it's not gonna deter me from going there just because it's an inconvenience and I have to slow down. And like, yes, it's annoying. Yes, my car is going to get dirty. Hopefully I don't get a flat, but it's like that road I'm just speaking specifically Negril to Montego Bay. It's not terrible. There's much worse roads in Negril. Much, much, much worse roads in Negril. Again, you have to slow down a little bit, but it's not to the point where it's just like people are like, oh God, it's not worth it. I'm not going to Negril, or I'm not going to Montego Bay if I live in Negril. So that's just my opinion on it. That's how I feel about it. It could be a lot worse, a whole lot worse. And I also think back to when I was a kid, when that road when I'm 38 years old, and that was one of the worst drives from Montego Bay to Negril. That was over 2 hours. Somebody can correct me. I remember going there as a kid and every year just hating that road. That drive to Kingston from Negril, absolutely hated it. I get car sick every time. It was windy, and there was no North Coast you could take. It was only South Coast, and we had to take South Coast to get to Kingston to visit my grandmother, who I love seeing. Getting up at 4 a.m. to take that drive because my dad never wanted to spend the night there, and then also to use the other one. Oh, we'll switch it. I'll switch it in a second. Yeah, sorry. So it all depends. Like, and my point in like saying those things is that there has been major improvement with the roads in Jamaica since I was a kid, and there will be continued change in that as well, and improvement in that. And it's just a matter of like, it's not going to be like that forever. And then I also have an appreciation for where we are now, and because I know what bad is, I know what like a deterrent, like a real deterrent is. And comfort of cars has improved, the roads have improved, and I'm not saying like let's settle. I'm not saying that we need to leave it as is, not at all, but I'm just saying it's just not that bad. I don't think it's that terrible, especially compared to back in the day. Globally Wendy says, oh, we are definitely going to have to move. You can't even see the island there. I don't know if you remember, you could see the island a few minutes ago, but that is rain coming. Global Wendy says Serena Williams should do a selfie in front of the new Montego Bay sign with the launch of her new VC company. That would be cool. Ebony X says it reminds me of the Panama sign that I took a few weeks ago. There you go. Everybody has a sign story, right? Oh, got a lot of comments here. Let's get some channel members here. Andrew Blake says, a simple an idea throughout the sign will highlight the emphasis of the importance of the road, the standard of the hospitality, and other issues in the coming future. Yep, I agree. That's a good point. And to me, it's like what this does say is like, okay, we need to continue to talk about this, and like the complaints that, not, well, I guess complaints about where the money is allocated. You're right, Andrew. I think it's going to bring up the discussions of, hey, we need the roads, we need this, we need that. Good point. Stanley Franklin says, happy Sunday, Throp. Love your show. Coming in from New York. Awesome. Welcome, Stanley. Thank you for the kind words. Kathy Hay says, watching from Baltimore, Maryland. Blessings, Throp, and everyone. Thanks for joining, Kathy. And Coburn says, we'll see when I arrive on Sunday. It seems a lot of money spent, to be honest. I agree. It's a lot of money, but again, it's going to pay for itself. There's no question. Expat Life, we have a similar sign in Toronto, and it's become a tourist attraction. Yes, I took a picture there with my brother in downtown Toronto, and I didn't realize it was there. I didn't go there. I'm trying to think of a situation where I went somewhere specifically to take a picture. I mean, there's places in New York for sure, tons of places like these influencer places, and I've done that before. But you know, I kind of live there. Camille says, I can't wait to see the New Grill sign. It's pretty cool. Says, I keep forgetting where Montego Bay one is. When in Montego Bay, it wasn't placed in an effective location. It's when you're leaving the airport. So if you're leaving the airport and you're going North Coast, you're more than likely to see it. But if you're coming to Negril, you might miss it because it's on your left-hand side, and it's literally at that roundabout at the airport. So again, not the greatest location, for walking, stopping, and taking a picture. And then you're like, just leaving, or you're leaving the airport, you just came in from wherever you're coming in from, and that's the best time, like how the road is designed, like that's when you should do it, because you're leaving the airport and that's where you should stop and take the picture. But you might be tired and this and that, so anyway, and you got to cross almost a highway. So a lot of disadvantages there compared to Negril. Richard Lee, oh, hold on, I missed one. Sorry. Kay says, what drives road improvements is the business in the area. When the government can collect more taxes, the road becomes more of a priority. Richard Lee says, the government says they're considering building a third city outside of Kingston. Which location would you feel best for? Yeah, this is the second or third time that I heard about this. I don't know too much about this, and I don't want to comment on something that I don't really know too much about, but I think it's a good thing that expansion thoughts are becoming more and more of a common subject matter to be talking about at the end of the day. And they talked about that in this area as well. Another city. Globally Wendy says, regarding the sign, look up at Tulum in Mexico, for example. That was a very successful intentional social media campaign, and yep, it worked. Tulum worked like crazy during the pandemic. I have friends that were influencers. They were all going, and I don't know if you've seen it. There's a bunch of different like social media picturesque places that people go to take pictures, and like everybody wants to go. Like once they see their favorite YouTuber or social media influencer go to these places and take pictures there, they're gonna go do that. There are people just gonna do that. Richard Lee talking about the new cities he's talking about. Says he thinks it's Clarendon. Hold on, we're gonna start getting ready to move here because I know the rain is coming. Yeah, we got it ready to move. This rain is definitely coming, but we'll move it the last minute, last second, and I also have the video to play, so it'll give us a chance to keep everyone entertained. Stanley Franklin Throp, you're the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, thank you. And nobody has ever said that about me. Al McCaden says perhaps the next step should be developing a welcome center near the sign. That would be good too, because I know the article said that it's good walkability, but there's nothing around there. There's no hotels. The nearest hotel is probably it's got to be at least a mile, probably more. You have Little Bay Country Club that maybe not a mile, I would say almost a mile to the nearest hotel. But then you have Little Bay Country Club, which is the closest residence. But like if you live there, why would you walk there? Because you probably have a car. It's probably like a really long walk to the front gate anyway. And then you have to walk from the front gate to the sign. So the walkability aspect, maybe there's some other development that's going to happen there soon that I don't know about. But who knows? Maybe, but I question the walkability sign aspect of the sign. Globally, Wendy says, it is a strategic marketing campaign. I agreed. Hal McCaden says, I will be in the grill again in 17 days. I will definitely be getting a picture in front of it. Awesome. Elvis White says, good to be back after working every Sunday for the past 2 months, but in bed with COVID watching. Oh, man. So sorry to hear that, Elvis. So sorry to hear that. Hopefully, this is a little bit of a reprieve of your ailments and wishing you a speedy recovery. You've obviously been working very hard the last couple of months. Again, very sorry to hear that you're sick, and I know you'll be back on your feet in no time, but I appreciate you joining us right now, man. Hope you feel better. Dre Renee said the Las Vegas sign is on the strip, and the sign will bring a lot of money in the area. It will bring a lot of traffic for travelers that will help support the business in the area. Okay, agreed. Yeah, it is on the strip. I guess it was just far from where I was staying, where I've stayed. I don't think I've ever been to this. Have I taken a picture at the sign? And I've been to Vegas. Like I was in Vegas in May. I can't remember. Maybe I have. As Sevilla Travel says, peace everyone. Just joining the live. So what did I miss? There's a new sign in the grill. There is. I have a video on it, which will play in a few minutes when we have to move inside. Actually, it's clearing back up. We might be okay here, people. I don't know if you can see that. It's starting to clear up. You can see the island a little bit. Maybe it's being pushed back. We're going to keep rolling, though. King Naldo says signs are supposed to be iconic presentations of a place, thing, or property, especially in pop culture. And the advent of social media, it's a win-win. Agreed. What's up, everyone? I'm in the grill. ER. Welcome. Happy to know that you are here. Ebony says, get well, Elvis. Stewie 1156 says, the Bank of Jamaica has over $3 billion US sitting in the bank, not doing anything. The government needs to fix the roads. Poor massive investments in solar. Yeah, I'd like to know what their plans to do with that $3 billion for sure. Naxing and relaxing. The sign will definitely pay for itself. 10x over as time passes. The girl sign looks great. Andrea Garth says. Marie Brown says, happy Sunday from the Sunshine State. Love the Negril sign. Beautiful colors. Good to see you, Marie. Chiming in from Florida. Expat Lifestyle says, I've heard that the third city will be in Maypen, Clarendon. Okay, yes, you're the second person to say that. Thanks for the clarification. AP says, Throp, love it. Nico Dre says, send some of that rain to Kingston. Is it dry out there? It's been raining here like every day. Rachel's Adventure says, where is it? I'm assuming you're talking about the sign. That's in the northern part of the grill. So as you're going towards Montego Bay, just as you are about to cross Salt Creek Bridge, that's where the sign is. It'll be on your right-hand side if you're leaving the grill. But you're going to see it coming into the grill as well on your left-hand side when you cross the bridge. Of course you would. Junior Charge says, hi, Throt. The city is Bernard Lodge. Okay. Didn't know that. Rachel's Adventure. I'll be there on Tuesday. Okay, so make sure you catch it, Rachel, when you come in on Tuesday. Just as you ask your driver where the sign is. So when you're coming in and seeing it, see if you could stop there and take some pictures. It's raining here in NYC, Ebony says. Sorry to hear. Shayna Love Coaching says that heavy overcast is looking outside my window in Atlanta. Oh, man, it's raining everywhere. Atlanta, Baltimore, New York City. Guys got something going on up there. Andrea Gar says Sunday afternoon, rain in the grill coming. Good time to take an afternoon nap. I agree. I would love to take an afternoon nap. Yes, that's right. By Little Bay. It's right by Little Bay. Albaniak says, I've been to Vegas, but took a pic of the sign. I have not. I gotta follow suit, Ebony X. The Flash says, tuning in from Sheffield. Okay, not too far. Stone's throw away from the grill. The sign looks great, but the road needs to be fixed as well. Agreed, agreed. King Nalo says, third city will be in very Clarendon, along with the new Vernama the logistics airport, which will be the largest in both Jamaica and Caribbean. This is the brainchild of politician Mike Henry. Oh, is that the logistics hub area? Is that what we were talking about here, King Naldo? Clarify that for me. I know we talked about that quite extensively as well. There's a few other things I want to touch on from the article. So let's get back to the investments happening in the grill. And the minister touched on this. So 5,000 rooms in the next 5 years. So that's not something that I would want to brush over. So I just found the paragraph here. It says, on the cards for further development are close to 5,000 new rooms to include a 1,000 room hotel at Rhodes Hall. So if you know what Rhodes Hall is, that's in Green Island. If you're coming from Montego Bay, man, why don't we just pull up a map? And that would kind of help things a lot here. 1 sec. I'm going to see if we can do that. Just so we can get everybody on the same page. I think we got it here. Okay, this is much better. All right, I'm going to share my screen in a second, I promise. I'm just trying to get us set up here. Okay, maybe I can't. All right. There we go. Okay. And I'll just show you where I'm just going to bring up my screen here, so everybody can see where I'm talking about. Okay, great. So this is the westernmost tip of Jamaica. And this, of course, is Negril. So here's where I am, travelers. Where are we? So travelers is right here. This is where sitting from, podcasting from. And downtown Negril is over here, Burger King. And we're going to go northeast up here. And this is all. So just kind of always show you how this is laid out. So here, I hope you can see my mouse. Here is what they consider called Long Bay. So this is the majority of where the small hotels are, and this is primarily what Negril is made up of. And so as you move more to the north, right here, this cove or this bay, this is Bloody Bay, and this is where Royalton and the two Rius are here. And this is 2 miles, this is 5 miles, and this makes up the 7-mile white sand strip of Negril. And as you take this bend here, let me move down closer. This is where Little Bay is, right here. So this is Little Bay Country Club. This is what I always refer to as pretty much the newest housing development that's in Negril. And when you get a little past Little Bay, this is Salt Creek Bridge, which is what I was referring to. The sign is probably right about here. This is obviously hasn't been updated. And that's where the Negril sign is. So as you can see, there's nothing around here for quite some bit. Nothing at all. But that's where the sign is. That's where they erected it. And this is Salt Creek Bridge. And let's get into what I was talking about with Rhodes Hall. So Rhodes Hall is over here. So you got to go through Orange Bay. This is also another housing community, and Rhodes Hall High School. And then this is Rhodes Hall Plantation. So this, I'm assuming this is where it's gonna be, the 1,000 room development. And so Rhodes Hall was a you could go horseback ride. Back in the day, you could go horseback riding there, and I believe they had accommodations. And this is where I think they're going to put the 1,000 room hotel. And as you can see, it's right on the water and super green. So I hope that brings some clarity. It's geographically as to where this 1,000 room hotel that they're talking about is going to be. I don't know exactly where it's going to be, but this is Rhodes Hall, so somewhere in this area. And as I find out more information about it, I will surely let everybody know. Okay, so let's bring back up the beach for everyone. Oh, and then we got the river coming in. So that's the river water that you're seeing seep in there, and that tells me that the island is gone again. That's telling me the rain is definitely coming. So we got to get ready to move. So what happens is it rains heavily in the mountains and it overflows the river, and then we get the river water coming in. All right, so let's get back to my whole point. Keep losing track of my thought process here. So the point is like there's a 1,000 room property, 1,000 room hotel in Rhodes Hall, a new property at Ocean Point, and an expansion of the Princess Palladium Sandals and Beaches property, which you're already seeing that happen. So Sandals and Beaches, like you can see it on when you're driving, that they got some construction going on. They're putting up new buildings. I've heard about Princess and Palladium. I'm not really sure what's going on at that property. So just kind of showing you that there is a lot of people are very bullish on Negril, and they're very bullish on the future of Negril, and investment is happening. And you got to also think like this has been in the plans, in the works for many years. And now it's announced, money is, I would assume, flowing in, and plans are being made for construction to commence, which is very exciting for our community and our town. Because to me, it's more jobs, it's a diversity in businesses, more competition, which we're not afraid of. I think we are actually more embracing it than anything else. With that, it also talked about which is also a very important point that I don't want to brush over, and it's talking about the minister hinting at the possibility of Negril no longer being split between the management of two different parishes, Hanover and Westmoreland. So I think that is, I don't know which, like if we're going to go to be, ported over to Westmoreland or ported over to Hanover, or does Negril become its own municipality, its own thing, which I think is what should happen. And I think that's kind of the best thing for our community, is that as a community, we can decide what we want in the direction that we want to head into. But more importantly is that we have direct representation in parliaments and in the national government scheme of things, that happens regularly. And I think that's the most important part, is just having representation, because right now, my opinion, the best representation that we have is the Negril Chamber of Commerce, because it is made up of the community members, and we understand what's happening. We understand the immediate needs of the community, and we push for those things, and not just in terms of business and hotels and tourism, but people living in and around the community, because those people are also our members, and they are a very important part of our membership in the Negril Chamber of Commerce, and an important part about understanding the needs of the community and the needs of the people of Negril. So that's why I advocate for having our own municipality here. All right, let's get back to the comments here. Shayna Love coaching says geography class in session again. I got you, Shayna. And Naldo says yes, the logistics hub. Okay, cool. I didn't know the location. Great to know, Naldo. Thank you so much. What's going on? Perlin Hibbert says, I love that sign. I cannot wait to take my pic there. Ingrid Baby says, thank you, Thra, for keeping us in the know. You're welcome. No problem. And King Naldo says, also the pronunciation of Vere is similar to the word there. So there. So I was saying it wrong. Thank you. There. Ricardo Lee. They need to turn the grill into a coastal city. I hope we don't become a city. That's something that we don't want to be, is like this big city. All right, we're gonna take down the big camera because you gonna take down this one first. All right, cool. We're gonna take down me, and I'm just gonna keep talking. All right, go ahead. You can take it. Yeah, we're gonna lose this. We're gonna lose camera one here, and we're just gonna stick with that one because we definitely gonna have to move. Cardo Lee says something like Florida, massive hotels. I mean, I hope like the the 5 mile strip that I just talked about. I hope at least that is preserved. But who knows? Who knows? Like we don't want skyscrapers on the beach. That just would not be Negril. And I think that would be in a way sad if that happened. And because there are other places in the world that happens, and there are other places in the world that you can have that type of experience. And I don't think that the community here necessarily wants that, but who am I to say? Who am I to say? Jeff Holman says it's great to have all these new rooms, but there is an environmental cost, loss of mangroves, etc., poor electrical grid, water, and sewer issues. Yes, that's something that we've talked about extensively and worry about extensively here in the grill, especially the sewer issues and all sewer issues and water supply, because we believe like we're not at capacity, but we're going to be there fairly soon. And the grill is a growing population, not just from tourism, but people moving here and living here. And as we talk about here on the podcast and on these lives about attracting new investment and attracting different people to live in the grill and to raise their families here, we got to make sure that the infrastructure is in place. And so that's something that we're definitely concerned about and want to make sure that we don't put the cart before the horse. Are we going to be in some real trouble here? So good point. And on the point of the environment, same thing. I'm not sure if everybody knows, but like Negril is like, I would say, in terms of our advocacy, one of the environmental epicenters of Jamaica. And this is something that we have fought for tooth and nail even before my time moving here. And that is really something that Negril is really known and recognized for. And that's like protecting the environment and making sure that is made a priority and that we are careful. And of course, no matter what we do, it's going to have an impact on the environment and any type of development. But it's more so just ensuring that we have the least of negative effect and negative consequences on the environment as we develop, because it's necessary for us to do so. And I think we just need to continue to make that a priority as these investments come in, as the population grows, as infrastructure is put into place, that is a number one priority. And I can tell you and guarantee you that the Negril Chamber of Commerce is a huge advocate for that. In many ways, it was founded on the protection of environment. And if you know the fight that the community had to go through with preserving the Great Morass, which you'll see in a few minutes in its entirety and its vastness. And that is a very extremely important part of for sure the Negril's ecosystem, but for Jamaica's ecosystem, there are, I forget how many like wild birds that are only found here, but there are a lot of bird watchers that come here and go up the South Negril River to see these birds, and this is their home. And we don't want to do anything to upset that or to extinguish any of these birds. And that's something that was for that fight was made back, man, this might be the 80s, where they were fighting, forget which organization it was, but anyway, we won the fight and we preserved the morass there. So great points, Jeff. Great points. Thank you for bringing that up. Global Wendy says, my global team has luxury, high end, and new construction that general contract contact thought for details. Mention new construction. Wow, that's cool to know about the river water and the color change. Veronica Tate says, it's raining here in Tampa too. It's raining everywhere. King Nando says the Hanover side of Negril seems to be a priority over the Westmoreland side. How everything that's upscale tends to be on that side. Maybe it's just me thinking out loud. P.S. Home rule is a must. Yeah. I mean, you have a point there. Like when you look at the hotels there, the hotels that were developed there, those are where the majority of the large all inclusives are. But I believe that is more. I would think more. I don't know if they were better incentivized, but I think that was more private investment. However, I will say that there is starting to be a push for development of downtown, and because that is like, and we talked about this before. Do I need to pull up my map? I won't. I'm not afraid to do that. All right, let's go back to the geography lesson here. 2 minutes. Give me a few minutes. Yeah. So let's go to the geography lesson here. We're just talking about moving the cameras here. Sorry. So gonna add that there, and we're back on the map. So down here, like as I point to Burger King, this is downtown. This is essentially the roundabout. And then as you move downtown, this is Nampro Road here, where my mouse goes along. And so this is a roundabout here, Devon House. We got the police station. This is fire station. Do I have that right? Devon House, Fire Station Road. And then we got the police station. And this is, let me get a little closer. Police station. Where are we? This is the, okay, here we go. This is the bus park here. And then we got another little plaza. And this is pretty much where the fruit and vegetable market is being constructed right now. And all of this is like prime real estate. Like this is basically downtown Negril. And it's undeveloped. And unfortunately, there are a lot of squatters in this area that have captured the land. And that this goes, like this is going all the way down here. Oops. All the way down here, this entire Nampro Road, especially on this side. Most of this, if not all of it, is captured land. And they're looking to develop it all. But however, the people who live there and have been living there for many, many years, they're going to definitely need to have a place to live. And this is when we talk about the relocation aspects of folks here. It's important that we make that a priority. So we're moving, hopefully they'll be moving into better accommodations for their family, and that also will give the government an opportunity to develop downtown Negril. But first and foremost, you got to give them a really good place to live, and hopefully that's something that they're looking for, and that they can see that this will be a better life for them, and they'll be in proper structures and having modern living and modern accommodation. But this is this is downtown Negril, and again, this is where they're looking to do development. There's also, I heard and understand, another gas station that's going to be here. So let me make sure I got my bearings straight here. So so the gas station is right here. That's being developed right now. I believe that's where they're going to be putting the gas station. And then, as you know, we have why can't I find it? There's Texaco, and boom, where are we? There's, I think this is Texaco. I'm almost certain this is Texaco here, and then you have, maybe this is Texaco. I can't remember. And then you have another. I forget, it's a new name. I forget what it is, but basically like pretty close to each other. Oh no, Rubis. Okay, sorry. Rubis is here, and then Texaco Bus Park. This is Texaco here. I'm sorry. So, and then you're gonna have the other gas station, which is right here. So they're gonna be in fairly close proximity to each other. And that's like kind of giving you an idea of the development of at least the development that I'm seeing of downtown Negril. Oh, as you can see, the rain is coming in. You can't even see the tip of the island anymore. Like the main island, not Booby Cay Island. Okay, a few more minutes. Let's get into some more comments before we have to move. Perfect Moon Jamaica says, "Look how beautiful. It was a lot more beautiful before the rain came in." I'm a Horn says, "Thank you for your explanation of the areas and what's to come. Hope this supports job development, employment for local citizens." Yes, I hope so too. That's very, very important, and it should. It should. Camille Lewis says, "At King Naldo, I agree. I initially had thought the sign was on Westmoreland end, but then again, it makes sense as most tourists enter from Mobay end." Perfect Moon Jamaica says, "Can't wait to see the sign." Stewie 1156 says, "The increase tourism is causing the Jamaican people to lose their culture. The government needs to find another way to generate revenues and income. The government needs diversity in the economy. It needs to diversify the economy." Yeah, I agree. And I say the same thing I agree with the diversification. I don't necessarily think that we need to move away from tourism. Like that is our bread and butter. And there are many islands that are scared of Jamaica, so to speak, because of our culture and how strong it is. And the fact that people make this their primary destination, and like a lot of different Caribbean islands and a lot of other places around the world like have a little, different aspects that attract people there. But our small island attract millions of people every year, and a lot of it is because of the culture. And hopefully we don't lose that. And I don't think we necessarily are, even though elements of the culture can be in question in terms of where we are now. But I do think we need to push for diversification in our economy, especially here in Negril. I'd love to see more, industrial businesses, if you will, just, things outside of tourism. And I hope that we're able to attract that as a community in the near future. But, tourism is our bread and butter, man. And if it ain't fixed, you know how that goes. Kinaldo says, "At Camille Lewis, yep. So this is why Negril needs to be its own municipality, oversee the entire town." Totally agree. Ebony says, "At Stewie, Jamaica has been losing its culture slowly for years. This is nothing new." Yeah, a lot of influence, a lot of American influence here, and it's being further pushed certainly by social media. Mosaic says, "Hi, Throp. Hello." Kay says, "I can see some gated communities coming in." Yeah, yep. They're definitely coming. They're needed, though. They're needed. All right, I'm trying to stay out here as long as humanly possible, trying to continue to give everybody this view as long as I can. Shane Love Coaching says, "As Stewie, my previous comment cut off because it was too long in regards to outside investors and expats. I can see that can be a problem, however, not tourism." Agreed. All right, let's go to the sign article. I mean, do we really need to get into it? I mean, I just have an article on the sign. Let me see if it's worth reading. Let me skim through it real quick. It's a short article. Let's do it. And then we can actually show you the video. All right, there's an article in the comments. I'll read through it quickly. And it says, $12 million Negril welcome sign to boost travel experience, Bartlett. A new $12 million welcome sign in Negril, Westmoreland will boost the attractiveness, of the resort town and enhance the experience of visitors. Speaking today at today's unveiling, Tourism Minister Ed Bartlett said this will augur well for the destination as Jamaica seeking to further grow the sector arising from the pandemic. The sentiments were echoed by Executive Director of the Tourism Product Development Company, Wade Mars. In a media release today, the agency outlined that the welcome sign features a lay-by walk. We already went through that. Yeah, this is the same thing. We don't need to go through that. We got the sign. We don't need to go through that at all. I'm looking at this. I think this thing is going to blow over. I'm just like looking at the weather. I'm pretty sure, because like now you're starting to see the island. I don't think you can see it in your picture, but You know what? Let's be safe than sorry. If the sun comes back out, we'll move. Let me get the guys ready. We're gonna do. All right, we're not gonna show the sign thing yet. I'm gonna show you another one. We're gonna go some drone videos. All right, Dollar, ready? I'm gonna throw it on the video. Okay, I'm gonna see you guys in a sec. This is a compilation of some drone videos we took yesterday and I think a few days before, and then we got a little mango treat at the end. Hope you enjoy. We're going to take a quick break and come back, and we'll get back into it. See you guys in a few.
손을 놓지는 못해 울어버리면 현실이 될까봐 참아보지만 같은 공간 속 서로 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주보지 않는 우리 남이 됐겠지 차라리 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘 걸 쓸쓸하니 정적도 견뎌야만 하겠지 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까
그런 말 하지마 내게도 쉬운 일은 아냐 빠듯한 현실의 무게가 버겁고 낯설어 마지막 나의 배려가 어쩐지 상처만 주는 것 같아 같은 공간 속 서로 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주보지 않는 우린 남이 됐겠지 차라리 미워하면 차라리 미워지기를 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘가 쓸쓸한 이 정적도 견뎌야만 하겠지 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주보지 않는 우리 남이 됐겠지 차라리 미워하면 차라리 미워지기를 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘가 쓸쓸한 이 정적도 견뎌야만 하겠지 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까
White check. Okay, we're back. Look at that. It's like magic. All right, we're gonna switch to the main camera here. Okay, main camera is hold on. We good on the main camera? Is up? Hold on. I think I did something wrong. Okay, there we go. Okay, got it. We're back. Hope you all enjoyed that little commercial break. We are inside instead of outside. The rain has not come, but it's coming. All right, let's hop over to the comments here. King Donald says residents of Negril needs to take a petition and local business community to force the government to engage talks to become its own municipality like Portmore did 20 years ago. Those talks are definitely in progress. I know that for sure. Hold on, still adjusting myself here. Sorry. Yeah, those talks are definitely still are there in progress. I know they've started. I do agree we need to make a stronger push for them for sure, and to really try to make this happen and make it a priority because, there's a lot of things that we need to get done and want to get done here in the girl, and I think the only way to do it is if we become our own municipality. Good point, King Naldo. Kay says, while the culture evolves and has outside influence, if we haven't lost it yet, it still can be there. Global Run, says a grand return is coming to Jamaica, which will include many foreign cultures and repats, so you will see more affordable homes in much greater scale. This is my passion and gift to my homeland. Oh, and onto the video. Shane Love Coaching says, is that Japanese artist in music background? I think it's K-pop. I'm not sure. I just found it on this music site that I get my music from. I thought it was pretty fitting. I liked it. I don't know that much about K-pop. I'm not even going to pretend, but it seemed fitting for what we had going on. Ingrid says, so beautiful. Suzette Tyre says, they need to fix the roads and the drainage problem so that we don't get the flow. Yes, the drainage problem is a huge problem and it needs to be addressed. Morph Center. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. The drainage problem in the grill is a problem. Like especially like when we get like heavy flows, it's just like you need a boat, unfortunately. Good point. Kuya Scarlett says Jamaica is beautiful. I agree. M says, I don't believe tourism is a reason for the diminishing cultural identity of Jamaica. JA has always been a heavily tourist-reliant country. This actually used to be the source of our pride and people. Yeah, it's just the influence of America and the proximity to America. And I always compare this to like Fiji. Like, so obviously Fiji's a lot further from America than Jamaica, and it's like I've only been there once as an adult, but there is elements of influence of American culture in Fiji, but like it's not almost ingrained in a sense like it here is in Jamaica. And I think that the proximity of Fiji to the US, and then also being like a nation of islands, and that helps it to preserve its there's a huge element of tribalism and traditional Fijian culture, and like I really like that and appreciate that. But yeah, Jamaica has a lot of American influence. Love it or hate it, just kind of the way it is. And again, I don't necessarily, like Em said, I don't necessarily think that it's tourism that is doing that. Em says it's only in the last few decades that it seems the government of Jamaica shows partially to tourism to a tourist over the interests of locals. Yeah, sometimes I feel that, but it's up to us as the locals to like really push for what we want and make sure that we do that to the best of our ability, and making sure that we let the government know that is a priority of ours. Suzette Tar says they need to fix the roads properly and have Better drainage system. I said this earlier. This should be done throughout the island. However, $12 million seems high for the sign, nice as it is. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. It is nice. Like $12 million is a lot of money, but we concluded, at least my opinion, and a lot of people in the comments saying that the $12 million is going to pay for itself. It's a sign that's going to attract a lot of people, and it already has. And you'll see in a little bit the video that I have of yesterday, and I was explaining to earlier that it took me, like, we had to do the shots we did, took over 2 hours because there were just so many people coming in, stopping their car, taking pictures, and we just had to wait for them to finish doing what they're doing, and then for us to do our videos, do drone shots, etc. And it just kind of showed you that, like, how attractive this thing really is. And you could tell, like, we just kind of watching the traffic, that people didn't realize that there was this new sign, and they were slowing down, taking pictures while they were driving. Some people slowed down and just stopped and pulled over, then took their pictures. And again, it's a really good attraction, and I think it's going to pay for itself tenfold, as somebody says in the comments. We're living in the era of Instagram and TikTok, and influencers are going to come there and do their thing, and then the people who they are influencing are going to also they're going to buy their tickets, and instead of going to Puerto Rico or Mexico or wherever, they're going to come here and they're going to take the picture in front of that sign because their favorite influencer did that. So that's my take on it. Yes, it could have gone to Rhodes, it could have gone to education, but I think this is going to really work on the revenue side of Jamaica and Negril. M says Jamaica is losing the culture as a result of the incessant desire to fashion itself after Western culture. The worst part of it at that. Yes, yeah, American culture, pop culture is definitely a heavy influence. I don't think it's tourism. I think we stated that before. All right, let's keep rolling here. Lorraine 96 Smith says, beautiful shots and music over your drone video, but one thing I don't get when watching drone shots on Jamaican YouTube channel is the absence of reggae music being played to accompany these shots. So I'll tell you my reason for not putting reggae music in there is because, and if there are any DJs or artists out there, is that the reggae music on the license site, the license site that I use, and I've used 2 other licensed music sites, they're terrible. They're absolutely horrendous. It is really, really, really bad reggae music. That's why you don't hear it. It's because there aren't good. Yeah, you can move that. You can move it over there if you need to. There just isn't good reggae music on these websites, and you hear it. And like I think I may have put on 1 or 2 reggae songs, and this is a very, very good point that you raised, Lorraine. I think is an excellent point. Let's see if we can get the outside. No. It's a very, very good point that you raised, Lorraine, about reggae music. And I don't know what can be done about it, but that I can tell you that's the only reason why I don't use reggae music. And I would love to use reggae music on my videos. I would love to, but they're just terrible. They're terrible. And like, I don't mean to, bash down or put any of the artists down who are putting reggae music out on these platforms. But I think that is a huge, huge gap if you're a musician and you want to produce music on the streaming sites, which you need. Let's test. Okay, we got some rain. Yeah. Okay, we got some rain happening out there. If you want to, if you're an artist and you're looking for an opportunity to earn income and to do licensed music for creators like myself, and there are millions of us out there, probably maybe hundreds or thousands for Jamaican YouTubers, I think is a great opportunity. But if there was better reggae music, it's very cheesy. It's very, I would say, more like, would I say 90s reggae music, but like it's not modern reggae. And then even like the classical stuff they try to do, like it just doesn't go well. Like it's very heavy piano, and it's a reggae beat, but it's terrible. They have good reggaeton music, they have good Latin music, they have even good Afrobeats music, but reggae, definitely not dancehall. It's horrendous, absolutely horrendous. So that's my reason for not using reggae music, because if we do use traditional reggae music, then we're going to get demonetized, or we're going to get pinged, or that video is going to be taken down. And so we can't use, Barris Hammond, Bob Marley, all these other musics that we would love to, or else we're going to get demonetized. So that's just like a little inside baseball here with reggae music and YouTube. Stewie 1156 says, at Shayna Love coaching, let's hope so. This new generation is all over the place in a few years. Me and you will be aged out. It's hard to guess what Jamaica will look like in 20 years. Pray for the best. M says drainage in Kingston is terrible too. I think I've experienced that, as a matter of fact. Steffi Best says teachers want money and this uncaring government. A MEC signed for $12 million. Again, you've heard my take on that. I think the sign is gonna. I mean, $12 million spread out across, however many teachers. That's not going to do anything. There needs to be more of a comprehensive plan, and I again think $12 million well spent. Lawrence 96, kind of going back into the music, says, let's big up our music and artists, and much like Barris, Sanchez, Luciano, etc. After all, it's our music and the world embrace it, and we are highlighting others. We are losing the culture, and it's a real, I think, for real. And Lorraine says, thanks throughout for explaining the music situation, but it bugs me when I see it. Nope, same here. And again, I've encouraged other artists locally because there's such a gap. It's just like, and it also gives you an opportunity to put your music out there. And yeah, you may not, what would I say? You may be like, I'm sure people have ambitions and dream of being this international music star, but why not earn, instead of like millions of dollars, maybe you can earn tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars by putting your music out there. And so this is, and like, I don't think a lot of musicians realize that this is like a real path. And I see a lot of rap artists on here, and they're really good. There's a lot of hip hop on these sites as well, and they're really, really, really good. And so these guys may not be like your Kendricks or your Drakes or anything like that, but hey, you're making a good living doing what you love. And maybe it could be a stepping stone to being a bigger, more international, well-recognized artist. And so, yeah, if we could get more music like that out there, I think that would be great. My place here. Sorry, don't know why that cut out. For life, I mean, I'm not anywhere for life. I've been here 16 years, and I go fairly back and forth between Jamaica and New York. I'm going again in a couple weeks, so I like to consider myself like hopefully, like, the dream is to really live more of a global or international life. Like, I think that's the best thing, is like being able to live in two places, because I just love traveling, and there are so many elements of Jamaica. There's so many elements of the girl that I absolutely love and miss extensively when I go away for extended periods of time, and I just can't wait to come back. And so, without a doubt, like, Jamaica is my home. Like, this is my home, hands down, no question. But I also want to be spending more time in New York for sure. Like, and I am going to be, and like, doing business and taking and I mentioned this before, but going after opportunities that are there. And like, that's what's kind of had me away in July. And again, I'm still unable to share with you what it actually is. But you'll know, you'll see, and hopefully in a few weeks, in a few months, exactly the project that I was working on in July. So that's going to be having me a little bit more in New York, than, maybe not more than Jamaica, but definitely more in New York than I have been in recent past. And so it with that, there are also many elements of New York that I do love that Jamaica doesn't have. There are a lot of conveniences there. There are a lot of, I would say, more conveniences than anything else, I would say. But I have a better life in Jamaica than New York. There's no doubt about that, for sure. I like the lifestyle here better. I'm more relaxed here. I'm more at ease. Just more mindful, more readily just around nature and around the water. I like even if it's raining right now, I love being by the water. So there are a lot of advantages to being here that I like, that I would not want to give up. And I think I'd be very sad if I didn't have access to this on a regular basis. And I don't think I would be whole as a person if I didn't have that. And of course, there are like a lot of things about New York that I don't like and that I don't miss, and I don't necessarily care to be a part of anymore. So that's my take on that. Good question, Em. Synthwave Pro says, I run a music library. It's hard to find great reggae music submissions from artists. Really, I didn't know that. I and that I mean that's to my point. And I was remember I was talking to there's actually one dude who actually comes into these lives. I don't know if he's here today, but if he is, he knows who I'm talking to. I remember encouraging him and giving him the links for this one music site that I was using, and I'm just like, man, if you're good and you can make good reggae beats, please, like somebody do this. Somebody come and take us out of our misery. And I'm sure if I talk to other YouTubers, they would feel Jamaican YouTubers, they would feel the same way because this music is just it's terrible. I'm sorry. This is the only way that I can put it. It's terrible. It's just not music that I'm going to use in my videos. There have been like maybe 2, 3 songs, and trust me, I regularly look, and it regularly um gets recommended as music to use, but it just doesn't fit the type of content that I'm creating. Global Wendy said, "What is the name of the site for a music community?" So I use Epidemic Sound. I used to use Artlist, Artlist, and there's another one I used, but this was years ago when I first started, so I don't even remember. But those are the 2 main ones that I used, and both are no bueno when it comes to reggae music. Kuya Scarlett says the Montego Bay sign has paid for itself a billion times over. Same with the new sign in the grill. Agreed. It's going to happen. We just got to think long term, and we got to think like what it's going to do after years. I wouldn't say years. I would say even months. Rose, so true about the music choices. I have the same problem. Global Wendy says, I have an instrumental artist that will contribute for your show. Plays reggae at Universal. Yeah, the licensing is complicated on the internet. If you sign to anybody, it's even if like say Drake gave me a song of his that he put out, it's not it like that thing is owned and controlled by so many people and industries. Like it's not as simple as that. If you're like a local artist, and it also depends, like did they put it out, is a process is what I'm trying to say. But thank you for the gesture. If it's possible, sure. Would love to work with somebody who has like music for themselves and they own the music and they own the rights to their own music. That will be great, especially if it's good. King Naldo says $12 million JMD is equivalent to $79,000 US, which is far less than any current annual salary. So remember, a million in JA is not a million outside of JA. Damn, King Naldo with knowledge bombs. Always. This guy's coming through. Great point. You even call it $80,000. Like, what is that really going to do for? I mean, how many? Like that could patch a few holes in the road, maybe. And then what? That's it. We're gonna have to do it again in a year or 2 from now. But now with the sign, the $80,000 that we spent on it is gonna continue to give return after return after return. Year after year, the revenue is coming in, the money is coming in from the one investment. That's a sound investment. $80,000 is not going to do. That's not going to do anything. But who knows? I agree with Naldo on this one. Doc CB says, "Hello everyone, happy Sunday to you as well." Wendy says will be more people living in Jamaica part-time as remote working has become normalized. Yep, we're definitely seeing that here at Travelers. A lot of many of our guests, especially during the pandemic, they were staying here for months on end and working here, and they continue to do so. Like we have like a group, I mean everybody knows who they are, like different people coming here and working. They work at the bar, they work here at the restaurant. We have the family room that they work out of, and for the most part we have pretty good internet as well, and they appreciate that. And then after they finish working, they could go on the beach, or they can get a swim in before they work, get a coffee, and do what they got to do and go through their workday. So it's a huge plus, huge advantage being here. M says, agree, Throp. I think the reason we don't see more artists who are contented at a local level is because people's reception of music is largely based on his or her popularity. M says, true, King Naldo. Yep. Good points. All right, all right, all right, all right. We don't have. I think that's it. That's the last article. All right. I think we're going to talk about. I mean, unless there's any topics you guys want to hit. All right. Think for the rest of the agenda, going to talk a little bit about ThropX, give a few updates on what's happening, and then I will show the sign video. And depending on if you have any questions or comments, we can go into those afterwards. But do you want to talk a little bit about that? Hold on, let's get King Naldo's comment in here. King Naldo says dance hall and rap music have become the murder music cohorts and used as a method of interracial and ethnic cleansing of black and brown people. The traditional reggae and hip hop no longer exist. Yeah, it has gone crazy. It has gone crazy. And I'm a huge fan of hip hop, huge like number one genre. I've been following it since I was a kid. I love rap music. Also, like old school. When I say old school dance hall, I'm talking about dance hall from like 2000 to like call it like 2010, 2015. Like that's like my era of dance hall. Um, but this new stuff, I can't get with it. I can't get with it. But then I also think, and like in hip hop, especially in hip hop era, like yeah, they were talking about like guns and killing people and all this and that, like for sure. But I think me, and this is how my dad explained it to me, because he always talks about that and the influence of music is that he's like, you're different. He's like, not everybody has a support system and has had like parents in your life and that could guide you and mentors. And so like me as an individual, like I know the difference between like, all right, this is music, this is make believe, and this is not going to influence me to go out there and kill somebody or go out there and hurt somebody or be violent. And so what I think it is like people, especially in the society here, there is a lack of guidance and there's a lack of mentorship, and the music becomes a driving and influential factor because of that gap. And so I understand that, and music is powerful, and that is something that we need to take into consideration. And again, I love this type of music and I enjoy that type of music. Maybe not the new stuff, but like, back in my day when I was early 20s, late teens, like that's what I listened to. And I still listen to that type of music, but it's not going to influence me to do certain things and act certain ways. So I do appreciate the influence that it can have on young men that are looking for guidance. Shayna LaCochin says, bust a freestyle throp hip hop. Maybe a throp X. No, it's not going to happen. You're not going to get me to sing. You're not going to get me to rap either. I wish I had those skills. Jenfa says the tribal politics that is in practice in Jamaica by both political parties has made Jamaican unattractive to investments. I mean, for some people, but then there are other people and corporations that are investing billions of dollars into Jamaica right now. So it depends on what you're looking for. It depends on your risk appetite. But I think many of these multinational institutions look at Jamaica as a very stable island and nation politically. And that is actually one of the attractive aspects to Jamaica, especially regardless of where your political affiliation is, but especially the administration that is in power now. They are attracting a lot of, and I'm not partial to any party here. I want to be clear about that, but they are, when you look at the raw numbers and you look at what they are bringing in, they are attracting billions of US dollars from all over the world to come into Jamaica. And foreign direct investment is definitely up like crazy in Jamaica. M says, yeah, the new wave of trap dancehall is dark and totally inspiring. Yeah, I just learned about trap dancehall like earlier this year. And I was just like, what is this? And I was like, this is, and then and we're going down like a completely different path. I'll give you guys the boat there. And then I was also talking with a DJ about this as well. Like he's the one who's like, he gave me a bunch of, and like, I love learning and hearing new music and about new music. And he gave me a bunch of different artists to listen to learn about this new genre of trap dancehall. And then I was also talking to him about like how Afrobeats is kind of just running the gambit right now. It's like the most popular music in the world, and for a long time it was rivalry between hip hop and dancehall. And Afrobeats in many ways did come from dancehall. Like you can see and hear elements of it. And I was asking him, I was like, man, what is going on with dancehall right now? How did we lose being like fighting for that top spot of influence like globally as far as music goes? And he was just saying it's like this trap dance hall. He's like, it's silly, it's unappealing, it has no global appeal because you can only, as a Jamaican, like you're going to be the one who understands it. Like, and we're only appealing to a population of 3 million people here. And yeah, there are 3 million people outside of Jamaica, but that's not going to hit across the entire, nation of America or outside of Jamaica. So you're really narrowing down the scope of the people who you're appealing to with the trap dance hall. At least that's the way he explained it to me, and it makes a lot of sense. Whereas like traditional dance hall, if you will, it had global appeal to it. So, that's why he was telling me, he's like, that's why Afrobeats is really giving, or has taken dancehall off that pedestal, and it's giving even hip hop a run for its money right now because it has a very global appeal. From the beats that it has to, you can understand the language and what the song is saying, and then you can repeat it as a consumer. And I'm just like, man, I hope it comes back. I hope there are artists coming back and to counter this, and that Jamaica gets back on that top spot of its global influence. My thoughts and my insight from just talking about it with other people. Natural Yard says rap and dancehall went downhill since the 1980s. Yeah, that's before my time. I got into rap and dancehall. Well, actually, I love the 80s and early 90s dancehall. That's what I grew up with. I thought that was awesome. I didn't kind of know what was going on. That's just kind of what my parents played, and my mom especially, that's what she played. And then hip hop, I didn't get into hip hop until I was like a very late bloomer with music, at least popular music. I didn't get into hip hop until I was in 9th grade. And my first album was the Eminem LP. That was the first album that I bought. And that was my introduction into hip hop. And then just went full blown into it into college. Shayna is laughing at my non-ambition to be a freestyle artist. Not going to happen here. Kuya Scarlett says America is more tribal than Jamaica right now. Stop putting down jam rock. Who's putting down jam rock? I'm not putting down jam rock. But America is more tribal than anything. Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. At least in terms of segregation of tribalism, I would say. I don't think anybody can argue that at all. Matho Nelson, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. It's good to hold a steady meds more time, but there's a limit. Agreed. I agree. And that is it looks like a Navy ship in the background there, like a Jamaican. Hold on, let me make sure I know what I'm talking about. I can't really see it with my own eyes. We'll wait till it passes, and then I will. I think I can't. Don't listen to me right now. I can't see it. Anyway, King Nala says the Montego Bay version of trap dancehall has steered the genre into what it is today. The same comparison with Chicago drill rap that may have left many rappers dead and thousands more shot and injured. Yep, I could see that. I'm not into Chicago drill rap either. HB says, hey, Throp, non-Jamaicans do not like trap dancehall. They still listen to 90s and 2000 dancehall. Yep, same here. Good point, HB. Kuya Scarlett says, so true, there is no happiness and creativity in dancehall music. At least the new stuff, it is really dark. The new stuff is super, super, super dark. And I just can't relate to it. But, I'll leave that to the young people. Jennifer Manfunzi says to the politicians and their tribal supporters, when you criticize their corruption, to them putting you down to Jamaica. I think it's important. I don't think I completely understand your comment, but I think it's important that we do criticize our leaders in power. Like, I think it's absolutely important, because if we don't do that, then they're going to keep doing whatever it is that they're doing that we might not necessarily approve of. Okay, what we're going to do now, what did I say the plan was? I forgot. Okay, the plan is, you guys can keep the comments rolling in. It's a short video, so this is the sign. Less than 2 minutes, and I'm going to eat a banana in that's 2 minutes. That's what I'm going to do. Guys, starting to get a little hungry here. And then any comments that you have, you can go ahead and throw them in there, and we'll go through that. Any questions you have, and I'll close out with ThropX. Yeah, we'll do the video, and then we'll close out with ThropX updates on that, and keep everybody posted on that. Okay, here is the grill sign video. Enjoy.
I'm gonna tell you that I love you 100 times a day. You'll get tired of my voice, that's how much I'm gonna tell you that I'll miss you. I'll miss you if you go. Yes, I'm gonna let you know just how much I tell your mama, I tell your papa too. I'm gonna let everyone know about my love, so I really hope you love me too. Yeah, I really hope you love me too. I'm gonna tell you that I need you. I need you every day. You'll get weary of my touch, that's how much I'm gonna tell you that I want you. I wanna let you know, oh, you're the only one for me, no one else. I'm gonna shout it out, yeah, up on the mountaintop. I'm gonna let everyone know about my love, so I really hope you love me too. Yeah, I really hope you love me too. Oh, there's something deep inside.
All right, we're back. That's the sign. That's the Nick Girl sign. Hope you guys liked it. I know it was a quick video, but it kind of gives you a little bit of insight. Like I said, we shot it. That was yesterday. It was raining just like it's raining right now. And that was what they spent all the money on. Ingrid says, Throp, you should start modeling. I don't know about that. But it was funny shooting it. It was funny. It was fun shooting it, I should say. Ingrid says, I love it. It's beautiful. Money well spent. Kuya Scarlett says, it's nice. Could have been a bit bigger. It always could be bigger, right? Oh man, my man King Naldo. Thank you. Healthy critiquing of Jamaica and its shortcomings are needed to hold our people and government accountable. Thank you so much, King Naldo, for the $20. I really appreciate it. All these little, that's not little, but all these contributions really help out a lot, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, you're head on it. You're head on with your comment there. It's so important, and I think it was maybe Kuya Scarlet, I'm not sure, talking about the tribalism. Sorry if I got that wrong, but we do need to get away from that in order to hold our government accountable. Like, it doesn't matter who you support, and I said this before, even in America, like, it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat, like, politically. It's just like, if your policies and what you're about is just not supportive of what I think is best for the country or best for the nation, and same thing with same here in Jamaica, like, I'm not going to support you irrespective of who I traditionally support or what party I traditionally support. And to me, it's like, this is the type of thinking that we need. And both, even if you're PNP, your JLP, you know, if your party is doing foolishness, if your MP is doing foolishness, like, they need to be called out on it. 100%, they need to be called out on it. And you need to hold them accountable irrespective of what political party that you were born in. It's so important, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to be suffering. Your kids are the ones that's going to be suffering, your family, your community. And you just support them blindly because this is who you've been supporting for years. And I think a lot of that thinking needs to be ported over to the US, man, because it's like, sometimes I'm just like, man, how can you just blindly support this party, and I'm not saying don't support your party. I'm saying you have to be able to call out elements of your party that you do not like and that you do not support. And if there are people in your party that are doing things that just, are wrong and doesn't align with the mandate that they have that is set for their position as to why they were given the power that they have. And what's the point? And this is like, again, I just emphasize on like, we the people, like we're the ones who have to hold our leaders accountable, like no matter what, no matter how much we believe in them and how good and great they've been. And we just have to, use our common sense and kind of put the political tribal affiliations that we had aside and in situations that calls for that. So great point, Naldo. I appreciate it. Chris Shaw says, looking sharp, Mr. T. Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate it. M says, I like the sign. It needs neat and fun. It's neat and fun. Excuse me. Jenfa Manfunzi says, simply put, Jamaica is not attractive to real investments. I mean, what do you mean? Like, what do you consider real investments? I just read an article about 5,000 new hotel rooms coming to Negril, just little Negril, right? Yeah, that to me is real investment. There's one hotel that's putting up 1,000 rooms. Probably talking about tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars going into that. That's real investment. There's another hotel that's coming to Little Bay. I believe that's in the thousands. That's real investments. That's tens of millions of US dollars. There's a logistics hub that was coming that we talked about. That's millions and millions of US dollars that's coming into Jamaica. And I don't know. I'm not sure if you can kind of clear up your point here, Jenfa. Simply put, Jamaica does not attract real investments. I'm not sure what you mean by that, and if you could support that a little bit more, I'd love to discuss it further. Yeah, like M says, investments are happening in Jamaica every day. Jamaica is a top performing stock exchange in the world. It was the #1 stock exchange in the world for 2 years in a row. These are facts, and money continues to come into Jamaica continuously. I believe it could be even more. It can be tremendously more if we can get the crime and violence situation that's happening under control, it is a priority of the government, and it's not that they're not trying. They're doing and putting different measures in place. But as I said earlier, I think the long-term approach with this is education, and they're starting to talk about, at least I'm just hearing about education investments and strategies that they're going to be putting in place. I think that's very, very important. Very, very important. Shayna Low Coaching says, keep up the great work. I'll give more money for a freestyle rap. LOLJK. Okay, I'm going to work on something. Just for Shayna. Thank you so much, Shayna. I really appreciate the contribution. Again, it helps out a lot. All right, maybe we'll do a freestyle rap. If you can make me a beat, Shayna, and you come on here and you can beatbox, I'll bring you in. Then I'll do it. I'll embarrass myself. Thank you again. All right. Kuya Scarlett says Jamaica is the second fastest growing economy in CARICOM. Jenfa? We'd like you to back up your claims, please. Andrew Blake says the sign is excellent, and I agree is a good spot. Thank you, Andrew. Ingrid says there's a lot of investment going on in Jamaica. Don't sleep on our little island. Yes, I believe that this is really something that you should look into, Jenfa. Like it's happening in a very, very, very big way. And I'm not like telling you to drink the Kool-Aid here. This is kind of what I've seen and what I hear that's happening, and you can kind of see it in the budget debate as well. And then you're seeing it happen in real time. You're seeing buildings go up. You're seeing investment happening. You're seeing construction happening. So just to look into it, and just kind of take these as data points that you might want to add to your analysis of Jamaica in terms of it being or not being, in your case, a good place to invest. Cherie D says, I've seen your interview a few expats. Would you say there is a steady growth in the area of people who are staying and not just briefly during the pandemic? Yeah, definitely. So there's actually, and I've talked about this before on the pod and also on the live here. I actually was interviewed by a national publication in the U.S. I don't even know if I'm supposed to talk about it, but I was interviewed by them. I don't know when the article is coming out, but the journalist I was speaking to was explaining to me a phenomenon that's happening in the U.S. of Black Americans leaving the US, migrating from the US, and moving to Jamaica specifically. And it's happening in great numbers. And not just like you said, Shari, for the pandemic or for short periods, like they are moving here and they're calling Jamaica their home and they're trying to figure out how to do it. And I'm seeing it also in my communication here with this channel and this community that we've built together. I'm seeing it in the interviews that I'm doing. And and what I told the journalist was that I'm seeing it more so. It's African American women in larger numbers, and I'm seeing that like physically, like living here, and then also interviews and live streams that I'm doing, and it's happening at a pace that I've never seen it happen before. And yes, people are like, your short answer is yes, Shari. Like a lot of people are moving here, and a lot of people are calling this place their home. And because of this community helps that. We try to give information on what it's like to live here, the actual nuts and bolts and T's crossed and I's dotted on how to do it. Who are the professionals that you need to speak with in order to help you do that, help you buy property, help you find an apartment to lease, to rent. How do you invest in Jamaica? How do you start setting yourself up or gearing yourself up towards actually living here and being here and calling this place your home? That is very much what this community is for. And it doesn't, and I said African Americans, not Jamaican diaspora who moved abroad and moved here. Like there's a big distinction with that demographic. And so we're talking about Americans that have no bloodline affiliation with Jamaica trying to move here and live here. And then, of course, a big part of this community is the diaspora and them thinking and trying to move back home here. There are also many first-generation American Jamaicans who have called America their home for their entire life, that are looking to and also have been able to make Jamaica their home. So it is happening. I think it's happening on a larger scale than we know. And as I explained to the journalist, I really started to see the uptick when Donald Trump was elected. Like it was crazy. Like people were like, just like, you hear people say like, yo, I'm done with America. I'm done with New York. Like you hear this all the time. Yo, I'm done with New York. Like I hear it all the time. But to actually see people voting with their feet, so to speak, and putting their money where their mouth is and actually leaving, it's happening on a scale that I haven't seen before. I can tell you that. And it really started during the presidency of Donald Trump. And then I think the pandemic exacerbated it as well and just kind of accelerated that process. M says, good question. Yes, very good question, Shari. Very good question. Is it Cherie or Shari? I hope I'm saying it. Cherie. I think it's Cherie. Sorry about that. Howard McCaden says, please elaborate a little more about the Jamaican Stock Exchange and why it was rated so high. I'm curious. So it was rated so high because it just outperformed all other stock exchanges. So, and this is I'm not a financial advisor. Let me make that very clear. But this is why I think that it's happened. Like one, there's no capital gains in Jamaica. So anything that you make here, you're not going to be charged capital gains. So in the U.S., you have long-term and short-term capital gains. And I don't remember what it is. If somebody remembers what that percentage is in the U.S., but long-term capital gains, if you hold on to an investment for more than a year, then you'll be charged long-term capital gains, which is much smaller than short-term capital gains. That if you trade that stock before a year is up, you will be taxed higher on those gains, everything after the principal that you put into the investment. Whereas here in Jamaica, no matter short-term, long-term, there's zero on anything you make above the principal, from what I understand and from what I've been told. No capital gains tax. So that's an attractive aspect of it. Second thing is the Jamaica Stock Exchange moves much slower than the U.S. Stock Exchange, whereas we all have, for those who are invested in the U.S. Stock Exchange, you have whatever trading app on your phone, whether it's Charles Schwab, Robinhood, Cash App, whatever it is that you use to trade your investments. You could do it right there on your phone, 1, 2, 3, no problem. Whereas here, you go through your broker. And I stated this before, your broker is like your main person. Like my broker is like my main source of information, because I do not have, or am not privy to the types of information that they are privy to, and so I listen to them on to do certain trades, to invest in certain companies, when to pull out, when to put more in, etc., etc. And so I believe that it's at first I was like annoyed by it, but then I was like, how can I question a stock exchange that has done so well? And it's old school in that way, but it works and it does well. And so that's why I think it has done well. And then Jamaica, and it speaks to Jamaica. Jamaica is doing well. Jamaica, like there are a lot of people investing in Jamaica. Many people are investing in Jamaica, and these Jamaican companies are doing well. Jamaica Stock Exchange's JSE just, I think it was 2 weeks ago, got its 100th company listed on there. So it's doing well. Something I would definitely encourage you to look into, Howell McCaden, to as far as investing. And I have a interview that I did with German Vancy, who is she is a financial advisor for Sagicor Investments, and highly recommend her to, if you want to talk to about investing in there. And you can invest. I don't know where you are in the world, but you have the ability to invest in the Jamaica Stock Exchange, even if you don't live here, even if you're not in Jamaica. So I would encourage you to take a look at that video. She has a lot of great information on the Jamaica Stock Exchange and investing there. And thank you for clearing up the long and short-term capital gains. So long-term capital gains is 10% and short-term capital gains is 20% in the U.S., Harold McCaden says. Thank you for that. Chat Patois says, do you currently see the viable opportunities outside of tourism of Jamaica? And if so, what other sectors? I'd say, like, so I always thought like Negril could be this like technology hub. And I mean, you think about like how, I forget what documentary I watched, but I watched it. I forget what it's called, but it was a documentary on how Silicon Valley got started. And there's nothing super special about Silicon Valley. It was just like a bunch of guys decided like, hey, let's go do a startup there, do tech startups there. And that's how it was built. And they've done it in many cities in the United States. Boulder, Colorado. I went there with my brothers. That's a big startup city. New York is starting to become a big startup city. Hence, I mean, New York is New York. But I think that this could be a really, really good tech hub. And I also got the idea, travelers here, but it was like my brother really and his friend hosted they didn't host it, but we were the host hotel for a group of hackers. This was in early 2000s, and there was like hackers from all over the world, like Europe, Russia, all of the States, Canada, and they all came down to Jamaica. And it was just so cool to see. And they were just so happy here, is being able to be on their computers. They were on the computers on the beach. We had a conference room. They did presentations. And I'm like, why can't this be like a regular thing? Like, why can't we be a community that is focused on technology and inviting that type of talent, especially with the interglobal connectivity that we have with technology and the internet now? I don't see why not. And so that's like one thing that I think could do very well here. And you're earning, it's foreign income that we have here. And like, I always think about that. Like, how can we get US dollars? It's stronger, it's more stable, and it does better for the community, especially when we start exchanging those US dollars in the banks and we start paying employees and buying construction material. We do all that in JA. It just helps the economy and strengthens the economy. So that's one thought that I always had. And then as far as like Negril, there are just so many like traditional regular society, I don't know how to term this, regular society businesses that we need here. And from especially like a socializing standpoint of attracting young families, like we need a movie theater, a bowling alley, a sports apparel store, like different commerce places that people can go to do different things. Because like here, you more than likely, to get anything substantial, you have to go to SAB or you have to go to Montego Bay. And so I think that's going to change, especially as the population grows and as the population diversity changes in Negril. those sort of things are going to come. But I think the earlier that you get in, I think you're just better up. You're going to be in a better position. So those are different elements that I think, and I always think the grill. I know that was a little specific, but I hope that kind of brings clarity to your question there. Shayna Lowe says, "Okay, deal. I can record a beatbox before the end of the year." Okay, it better be you. Cool, cool, cool. Thanks, Shayna Lowe. Ginaldo says real investments in tourism, BPO, oil and gas, exploration, highways, logistics, and real estate. The number one stock exchange for 2 years in a row is evidence of real investments and growth. Thank you. Great, great, great point. That's a better point than I had. I hope that helps with your question, Harold McCaden, in terms of why Jamaica Stock Exchange has done so well. Thank you for that. Marie D says, blessings, Sir Throp, and everyone. Well, this dance hall nowadays is not good. The 80s and 90s was and still was the number one dance hall. I agree. Andrew Blake says, Cherie D says, there are many Americans/Canadians that are staying now rather than second home options from what I see. Yep, I find that to be true as well. Good point, Andrew. Marie D says, among the people all over the world. I might be taking that out of context. Ingrid says, I'm definitely looking into investing in the Jamaica Stock Exchange. I think that's a good idea. Tony Cooper says, beautiful, beautiful place to live, sir. I was born in UK, but live in Jamaica from 1960 to 1986, and I'm looking forward to coming back home soon. Awesome. Best of luck with you on your journey, Tony. Dwayne Yodman Swaby says, I don't know if I understand this. IBKR works in Jamaica. Cool. Marie D says, of course, we must hold our politicians accountable for whether abroad or yard. Upstate New York is where Howard is chiming in from, I think. Marie D says, I love the sign. Dwayne Yardman Swaby says, I trade options in stocks in the U.S., but I know Jamaica can use IBKR to trade USA stocks. NTB investment account can trade Jamaican stocks. Cool. Marie D says, great photos. And Cherie says, thank you, Andrew Blake. It's definitely happening all over, but some people are going back home. So I was curious if people are truly staying. Says, facts, Jamaica is not a poor country, just a country with poor people due to mismanaged funding and lack of opportunity. Jamaica is actually quite wealthy. Yeah, I always say this. Jamaica definitely has money. There's no doubt about it. Like, go to Kingston. That's all I got to say. Go to Kingston. Cherie D says, and many thanks to you, Throp, for your response. You're very welcome. Thank you for your question. And says, Throp, do you spend time on the East Coast? In your view, how does East differ, JA differ from West besides country versus town? I don't spend a tremendous time there. And I stated this before on the live that I feel like there's a sense that the eastern part of the island is like the future of tourism and where the luxury money is going. And when I say luxury money, I'm talking about like the private jet 1% of the 1% will be going. And that's what they're building it to be. This is like the super East. And then East in terms of like Kingston, like I love Kingston. I love hanging out there. It's more normalized life for me in a sense that it's a city. It's the capital of Jamaica, right? So you can do like normal things that I talked about before. Like you can go to the movie theater without driving an hour and a half. You can go to a bowling alley. There are many, many different restaurants. There are also many different community clubs. My first running club that I ever joined was the Pacers in Kingston, and I still run with them every time I go out there. And so there are different interest clubs that you can go to as well. And if they're more than likely, if you do have like an personal hobby, there's more than likely a club or a group of people that you can join with, and that you can all appreciate whatever that hobby is together. Biking, there's like I know there's like a few bike clubs out there. That's bicycle clubs out there as well. So I do enjoy going that for like more of a quote unquote normal life and not being in the, what would I say, the country and rural Jamaica, rural Negril. Even though I absolutely love it, even though I love being here and wouldn't want to be anywhere else, to be honest, any other part of Jamaica. Kay says East cannot be the future. It is. I think it is, like investment wise, and again, when I say future, I really mean the future of that type of tourism. Like, there's no other place on the island, at least, that are flying in are going after the private jet market, right? And I was in a meeting when I used to be on the executive board of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, and one of the members was saying there was some event happening he was in the Bahamas, and he was just making the point where he went there. He's like, the amount of private jets that he saw landing there was like phenomenal, right? And he's like, why can't we do that? Like, people fly to Jamaica for the weekend or for a couple of days, and he's like, we just don't have that. And I think, again, this is the feeling I get. There's not necessarily anything that anybody said in particular, like, we're going after the private jet market. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. This is just kind of my own conclusion that I've drawn from talking to people and hearing people talk about the East. And it's a beautiful part of the island. Like I said, I've said this many times before, like, I love Point Antonio. It's my favorite part of the island. I love going there. And unfortunately, I probably won't get there this year, but definitely I'm going there next year. And I'd want to do like a month out there. That's how much I love it there, and just kind of just be there for an extended period of time. I've only spent like 5-7 days. I don't even think I spent 7 days out there, but I'd love to spend a whole entire month out there and just kind of call that place home for a little bit. Not a great place to run, though. That's one thing that Negril has over probably most parts of the island. If you're going on like a 15 or 20 mile run, and you want a place that you can go for long periods and long stretches without having to really worry about that much traffic or cars, Negril is the best. Can't think of many places other than Negril to do that. But I don't think that's going to affect many people. Scotty Beeman, good to see you. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining that part. Go to Kingston, also parts of Montego Bay. Agreed. Kay says, look where the roads are now. East is the business district, absolutely, but the north is where the quality of life is. Fair enough. Scotty Beamer says, stop. I met an American at JFK Airport back in July. She's opening a Vegas-style bar in New Kingston. I think she said the name is T. Ronnie's. Let's see if we can look that up. All right, I'm seeing. Nope, I'm not seeing anything. All right, I'm gonna say I'm gonna save the research for later. Let's see if we could find it, or if you find it, Scotty, let me know, and we can bring it up. That's pretty cool. That's awesome that people are investing in starting businesses here and in Kingston and bringing that type of cuisine or restaurant experience to Jamaica and to Kingston. Katie Vibe says the grill sign is hot. Can't wait to take my glam shot pics next to it. Awesome. Glad you like it. M says understandable thought. Portland is a stunning parish. It really, really is. Man, I would love to. I can't wait to get back there. Honestly, can't wait to get there. Okay, let's hop into ThropX real quick and give a couple updates. As I said, I sent out an email on Thursday. If you're not on the email list and you want to be on it, just let me know. Shoot it to me directly because we're having a little problem with the form. So just shoot me an email directly that says ThropX email list, and I'll put you on it today and get you the latest email that we had out. And yeah, let me know if you want to be on it. The email that I sent out on Thursday was just kind of giving an update that we there's a lot of people that I already have as panelists, but again, getting it in writing is important. So we confirmed Noel Phillips, which is really good real estate guy, and it's in the email, the video that we did together. We have a new team member, Candice is coming on board. Or is on board, I should say, and she's helping out a lot. I'm not sure if she's in the comments, but if you are, Candice, say hello. and the logistics of everything is coming together quite nicely, and really, really excited. It's actually coming together really cool. And I think this, obviously, the speakers are going to be like really what everybody is coming for. And, everybody's going to learn firsthand, hopefully, like what you want specifically. And I hope everybody is coming to the conference with like the idea in mind, or like whatever you specifically need is what I'm trying to say. Like what you specifically are going for, or you have questions for, or there's a particular type of person that you need and want to talk to. Like I hope, like my goal is to get that answered in its entirety and put you in front of and connect you with the right people. Looking at the list of panelists that I have coming, I was looking at it last week, and I realized that like this is going to be, and this is part of it, but I didn't know it was going to be to this extent. Like the networking is going to be amazing, and I'm not trying to like sell it or anything like that. I think it's as it is. It's going to be a really amazing event if you are looking to invest or to move or to buy a home here or rent a home here in Jamaica. Yes, for sure, this is a conference for you. But the people that you're going to meet, the quality and caliber, the brain power that's going to be in that room for an entire weekend is amazing. Nothing like I've seen before, honestly. Nothing like I've seen before. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn or anything like that. But like when I see all these people that I personally know, it's like bringing my favorite people and the smartest people that I know in Jamaica, and then I'm putting them all in one room to really help you accomplish your goals. We're going to have very rich, fruitful discussions, and I'm like excited to get them in the room. And I just know I'm going to learn so much. And as I come out of that conference, there's going to be information that I know everybody also, all these different speakers, they need to hear from each other as well. And that's what I'm realizing, like the importance of bringing this group of people together is that we need to hear and they need to hear from other industries that are driving their specific industry. And it's going to give them more understanding on how to optimize their own sector and how to optimize their own business and to how to optimize to helping even more people invest in Jamaica. And that's what I'm realizing is going to happen with this weekend. And that was really exciting. Looking at the panelist list that have confirmed, I'm like, man, this is going to be really amazing. And also, I don't know, what you all do. The people who are going to be participating, coming, like that's the X factor, is that everybody's coming to the table and there's no understanding. And I'm not saying this is a good thing or bad thing, but there's no understanding of the professional backgrounds that are actually coming into the country and participating in this event. And so with that, it's just going to add to the pot and add to the value that is going to come out of this weekend. So it's making me very, very excited about the weekend. Gary, Austin, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate the support so much. Really, really, really do. And Candice is in the comments. Hello, Candice. Thank you for saying hello. Max and Relaxing, I am booked. Awesome. Happy to hear. Mary D says, I emailed you before. I should be on the list, correct? Yes, but if you didn't get an email from me on Thursday, it came from events@thropex.com. Please just shoot me an email, Marie, just to make sure that you are on the list. Max and Relaxing says, I booked to come down. Any discount on ThropX tickets itself? Haven't purchased it. No discounts on the tickets. We are actually going to be going up we're in September next month. So there will be a price increase in October. So keep that in mind. You definitely want to buy it this month before our prices do go up. So please do that soon as possible. But getting into this week with ThropX, like we're just continuing to confirm speakers. And as that comes out, we're going to, send out the email. We're going to do weekly emails, keeping everybody up to date on what's happening. I'm going to continue to remind everybody, please pack a white outfit for the farewell dinner. And it's going to be, what do we say? Beach chic. That is the dress code. This is Negril. It is the capital of casual. So you don't need to wear a suit or anything, but it's going to be a nice occasion, and it's going to be at a nice villa as well. So I didn't mean to say that, but we're going to be at a nice place. So it's going to be very nice. So you can dress accordingly. And it's going to be fun. Scotty Beamer says, I think I might have the name wrong. I randomly met her on the way to DR. She also owns a bar in Vegas. Very interesting conversation. At the time I met, she was on her way to JA to scout places. Awesome. I don't know if you're in touch with her, but I would love to know the place. That would be pretty cool. But that's it. I think that's the update on ThropX for the most part. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. Kinaldo, you need to stop, man. Thank you so much. Throppers, check out Taking Stock with Kalia Reynolds, Belizean media personality living in Jamaica. She's pretty knowledgeable in all things stock. Yes, I follow her, and I am on her email list. She's a great follow on what's happening and in the stock exchange here and investments in Jamaica, and she does a lot of great interviews with a lot of the players in the industry. Thank you, King Nalo, for the support. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Jenfa says Jamaica imports 95% of its goods and services. We need the kind of investment that will allow Jamaica to export globally. Yeah, I agree. I believe one of the main reasons why we are not an exporter, and I do believe a higher exporter, I do believe is because of our electricity costs. It's hard to set up like a manufacturing facility and you're paying one of the highest per wattage rates in the entire world. And so once that problem is solved, then we can start talking about manufacturing. Other than that, it just doesn't make any sense, at least on like a large scale that would make a big impact on the country. So that's my take. Little me, but I would say like if we can really solve that and really get our electricity costs down, that would be major. Marie D says, can we watch online? Paying, of course. Yeah, we have virtual tickets for $100 for the entire weekend. And even if you aren't able to watch it live, you will always have access to the replay. So just keep that in mind. You have access to the replay and you don't have to watch it there, and you can see it anytime and watch it anytime you want. Max and Relaxing will do. Excited to attend and learn. Awesome. Looking forward to seeing you and looking forward to meeting you. Okay, I think we're going to call it live there. I'm like super hungry. My battery is about to die. I don't know why it's not charging. And I just don't want to blip out on you all. So I think we're going to call it right now for our live today. And we will come back on Thursday. It's going to be our normal day, our normal weekly. I know we're supposed to be doing it every other week, but I actually like doing the live streams on Thursdays. They're so much easier to set up, and then that gives an opportunity to catch up with you all during the week, and any new information that happens between now and Thursday, we can always talk about it on Thursday. So for sure, I hope you guys join us on Thursday at 4 p.m. Jamaica time. Scotty Beam says, I'm so silly for exchanging information. No, don't. I was rushing ahead earlier flight, and I had limited time. I will do my research and let you know. No problem. Thank you. No pressure, no sweat at all. No big deal. Or I thank you for even bringing that to the table. The information, to me, the takeaway is that you met somebody who is investing in Jamaica and is opening a restaurant in Kingston. And that's the whole point here, is this kind of showing that. And so thank you so much for even sharing that with us. I do appreciate it. And yes, you all are welcome. Thank you for taking the time out of your Sunday to sit down and hang out with me and hang out with all of us. Thank you, Clive. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. And we're going to continue to do this every Sunday. And now we have a little bit of a plan now that we are putting up videos, that when the rain comes, we can play a little video, give us 5 minutes to reset and set back up, instead of before it was just like a mad rush. So it's really good to have that as a backup plan. So thank you all once again for joining this Sunday live stream. I will see you all on Thursday at 4 p.m. and our normal weekly live. Everybody have a great week coming up, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Peace.